All right, what is up? I see a couple people already in the stream, ready to go. Much appreciated. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, the pre-patch maintenance was extended. I was hoping to maybe stream about 30 minutes from now, get started, get this stream going, work on the UI, get the, all that stuff. But I was kind of expecting that maybe we'd have a pushback for the maintenance, or that maybe the maintenance would end and the servers would be all jacked up, and we just don't know, right? We don't know what's going to happen. But I was kind of expecting that might be the case. LT McKilla, waiting for maintenance to get done. You and me and a bunch of people are waiting for maintenance to get done. So what I figured that I would do is I would go ahead and kick this stream off, because I know if you're waiting for maintenance to be done or whatever, you're probably sitting there at your computer like, come on. So we can hang out. I've been playing the beta and the alpha since about 2 weeks since it launched, and I figured I'd take this opportunity to give you guys the chance to ask me any sort of questions you have. If you're worried about, like, what is my talent build gonna look at? What class should I play? This, that. If you have any kind of questions like that, this stream, I want to give you guys the opportunity before everything goes live to just ask whatever questions are on your mind. It's an absolutely mind-boggling amount of content and information to create to try to cover everybody and say, oh, well, here's the build that I recommend for this and this. It's just a huge undertaking. So I am working on that, but I figured I would take this opportunity to answer questions for the people who are here right now, who do have, something they want to know, whether, if it's making up a build for you or anything like that, so that when you get in, you're ready to go. We'll do that. Now, if we don't have a lot of questions or anything like that here on the stream, we are going to be looking through some talent trees. We're going to be looking at some of the stuff. There's been a lot of news posts today and a lot in the past week. So we'll pop over to Wowhead, take a look about those, talk about them, discuss them, offer up some opinions and things like that. So we'll use that to fill time if we don't have a lot of questions. And then once the maintenance ends, provided it does end when they say it does, we're going to hop into the game, and I'm going to show you guys how I'm putting together my UI. So this will hopefully help you see some of the features for your UI as well. And then when I'm done making the UI, I'm going to grab that export code from my game, and I'm going to put it in for you guys, so that if you want to import the UI that I create, you can do that in a single quick couple of actions. Okay, and that UI that I create is going to be the one that I use for my guides moving forward. Luann Wood said, what is your main? So I'm still somewhat undecided. Blizzard, if you'd asked me a couple weeks ago, I'd have an answer for you. But over the past couple of weeks, Blizzard has been doing a lot of tuning. So there's been a lot of nerfs that have hit a lot of classes. A lot of resource generation things have been like tweaked with and messed with. And so I've been going back into the beta, trying to play some of them and get a feel for what's going on with those classes and whether they feel better or worse. Generally, they all feel worse because Blizzard is nerfing them. So I'm going to take the opportunity during the pre-patch, because we have about a month until the expansion actually launches, to play through some of the classes that are kind of in my top. My top hasn't really changed so far based on what I've been playing. So for me right now, the big contenders for like main that I'm going to do in Dragonflight is Warrior, Monk, Warlock, maybe Shaman. That's kind of like my top 4. I'll definitely level Warrior, because I always do. And as long as I have a group that I can play with, I'm really looking at trying to play a healer as a fist weaving monk, as like maybe my main sort of, dungeon mythic raid sort of progression style character. So what about you guys? Have you picked out your main yet? Do you have something that you're looking forward to playing, or that you're going to be testing out in the pre-patch and hoping it looks pretty good? Hey RPG, what's up? Enhancement looked like a pumper. Enhancement is real good. It's real good. Out of the 3 shaman specs, enhancement is real good. it's the reason that shaman is up there on my list. I'm really looking to try to main something because I want to do a lot of group content. We'll talk about that maybe a little bit later. There's a lot of group content coming to the channel, and I really want to have the flexibility to be able to play a DPS tank and a healer, and I'd love for all those to be melee. So with Fistweaver in there, I can do melee healing. So that's a big selling point for me. Torn between Demonology Warlock and Discipline Priest. Well, if you ask me, I'm going to tell you to play Demonology Warlock because Priest is my least favorite class, and Demonology Warlock has an addictive rotation. You just want to keep like, oh, yep, I build this, I spin this, I build this, I spin this, all the imps, build this, spin this, all the imps, and like, I don't know. I start playing Demonology Warlock, and it's almost like Fire Mage. Like Fire Mage, you want to keep getting those crits, right? You want to, hot streak, bam, hot streak, bam. And it's like addictive where you like finish an enemy and you've got a hot streak and you're like, I can't just let it go. I got to get to the next thing. And with Demonology Warlock, it's kind of the same. You're like, I don't want to stop this rotation because I want more imps. So that I would tell you go Demonology Warlock, but I'm also not a priest player, so I don't want to lead you astray there. Warlock, if you go Warlock, you are stuck with all DPS, so you got to deal with them Qs. Bonius, am I saying your name right? If I'm not, can you like phonetically, put that in the chat for me? Arms Warriors main, then Elemental Shaman and Assassination Rogue as my alts. I've really been enjoying Rogue lately. Playing with a group. So Rogue solo is still fun, but I've really been enjoying just you can shred things on Rogue, especially when you're, running around questing with somebody who can take the aggro off you. It's pretty gross. I'm looking forward to checking out Arms Warrior a little bit more too. That execution phase I've been talking about is really fun in leveling content, so I kind of want to look at that and expand on that as well. Elemental Shaman is playing pretty much like Elemental Shaman has been, but it's nice because you get to pick and choose talents that you like. So that's cool. Didn't Destruction just get a fat buff? I honestly haven't been paying attention to the tuning here over the past couple days because 1, there's been so much of it, and 2, I'm just going to see how everything plays on the pre-patch, right? At this point, we're at the pre-patch. So this is live World of Warcraft that we're going to be coming into. And so how it plays from here on out is kind of what I'm going to use as the measure for it. I do believe, though, that I read that, I think you're correct. Destruction got some buffs, though. I think I do remember reading that at work when I should have been working at some point. But Destruction was fun as well. Destruction was fun, too. That was a big one for me. Luann says, I've been playing Demo Lock, and I love the demons more and more than blow up some imps. See, I'm against cruelty to imps. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I like to play not with Implosion, which is an option with the new talent trees. You actually don't have to take Implosion if you want, and you can just keep building up and building up and building up all the imps. And you can get perks when they like fade away and stuff. So I play that version, but the Implosion there is pretty cool, and it's got another like kind of new talent you can get that synergizes with Implosion, where when you summon an imp, it has a chance to summon an imp gang boss, which is pretty cool. That's a Hearthstone card, and then it has a bonus when you Implosion the imp gang boss. So it's pretty cool. There's some cool stuff there. Shrimp Guy, what's up, man? Welcome. All right, so Bonius, you're saying my name basically correct. The P is pronounced by itself, then Bonius. Oh, okay, Pabonius. Let's see. Let's talk some professions. Your thoughts. Okay, not a lot. You know what we need to do? We need to go over to Wowhead, and we need to... They have an overview of the professions, and we should check that out because I did a little bit of testing with professions, but not a ton. Let's see if we can't get this up over here and take a look together. So we'll jump in that here in just a minute, and I can offer up some opinions. I think I'm going to have 3 loadouts for my Blood DK, 1 for leveling, 1 for Mythic Plus, and 1 for rating. Best feature to me by far. The loadouts are absolutely awesome. When I get into creating guides, I'm going to have probably a few loadouts per specialization. And we might talk about that a little bit too. I'm kind of saving a lot of the here's what's coming on the channel for later this week, because I believe tomorrow the Season 1 campaign ends. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by Season 1, I mean the channel Season 1. This thing here, it ends, 32 hours left. So this is going to end. That'll officially cement Season 1 as a thing that's happening. And then I was going to talk about that a little later on in the week. So professions, right? Profession changes, okay? Many profession items that were used in the past are going to make a return. So we're going to get armor kits back, which I liked armor kits. I thought they were cool. Weapon oils, sharpening stones, all those sorts of things. It's just another like consumable item that your professions can sell. And I liked when those were around. Like in classic WoW, enchanters can create enchanted resources that are used in advanced crafts. Okay, so that gives, again, a little something for enchanters to do, aside from the enchants themselves, which is always a nice thing for them. Legendaries are now crafted with the help of professions. I like that as well. For me, like, the professions need to have weight to them. Otherwise, what's the point? What's the point if they don't have weight to them, right? So I'm pretty much for anything that adds weight to professions, where it feels like me investing my time, my energy, my resources into this is going to help me get something out of it. That's a positive change in my opinion, because honestly, I just take the gathering professions, gather stuff up, forget that I have it, leave it in my bags, throw it in my bank, forget that it exists, never touch it, never make money off of it, never do anything, because I'm really just like, why? But if it's like, oh hey, we can get something going, we can make armor kits, or we need to gather this stuff up to do legendaries, like there's a purpose to it. So I'm all on board for that as well. Still in the subject of gear improvement, several professions can now create optional reagents that can improve the item level of crafted gear. So I did see this. I took a look at this. This is something that, from what I saw, it looked like it was available at max level. Like you weren't going to be using these optional reagents to improve the item level of gear that you were crafting while leveling. It looked to be max level stuff. So a way to increase the quality of the gear you can sell through these. It's like an extra step, an extra effort that has an extra reward. Archaeology is gone from profession updates. They basically, to my knowledge, they said they are just not updating it going forward. Which, whatever, I'm not really into archaeology. Profession trainers, this is for the pre-patch specifically. So here's the optional reagents. Professional world quest. Every day 4 profession world quests will appear, 1 per zone. I think we're getting those normally anyway. Leveling professions through journals. And then I wonder if they're going to touch on the big thing for professions for me here, which we'll look at those more in detail when they actually come into play. And that's like the profession sort of talent trees or specializations that you can get into. That's something that I think is pretty cool. I don't really see that here. We've got some notes here like stones returned as a byproduct and it's used in several recipes, but nothing here that's showing the actual professions themselves. So I think if let's go into like leatherworking. All right, let me catch them on chat here. I just hope we have enough time to do a Mythic 0 circuit for a reset or 2 before the raid drops. Like Legion, cool. Cass, hey, welcome to the stream. What we need back is potions of treasure finding or elixirs of rapid mind again. Oh, the rapid mind were the XP bonus ones, right? That would be nice for alt leveling and stuff like that. Yeah, this is Shadowlands still. So we'll get into the professions some more at some point, but overall, I think like the profession updates are a positive change because they're adding more weight to professions in terms of their usefulness in the game, especially towards end game, and they're adding more depth for people that want to really get into the professions, to be able to feel like, you know, they're not just checking off a list, right? Okay, I level this, I have this many skill points, I can make this. We're getting the specializations and those sort of things where it's like, yes, I'm a max level leather worker, but I specialize in finding the rare parts from these particular animals, whereas this person over here is more about getting bulk quantity from normal enemies or something like that. You know, that diversity I think is interesting. And again, it's just like being able to choose your talent points as a class or a specialization. You know, that makes you feel like, okay, I am my own unique character. Even if you do just pull like a build off the web or something like that. So, yeah, that's what I think about professions right now. I did take a look, like I said, in the beta. I took a small look and just kind of went, okay, this looks like it's going to take a pretty big time investment that I don't want to put into the beta, so I'll check it out when it's live. I don't like to go too deep into anything in the beta. I like to mostly stick to class testing, so I'll do a lot of bug reporting on talents and builds or abilities that don't work right or random bugs that I encounter like in that sphere, but I don't like to like do too much quest progression or anything like that because I don't want to spoil it for myself. So let's take a look at the overview for the pre-patch here. Just take a look at what's coming. So just to be clear, obviously the pre-patch isn't live right this second, but here's what's coming with the pre-patch. The new talent system. So if you guys have questions about anything with the talent system, I'm going to say I'm the guy to ask, at least in the context of, you know, leveling, questing, open world content. I did go in and I started looking at some of the guides Wowhead has put out, and I was pretty surprised. There's probably like 80% of what I was reading from the guide makers was my interpretation and what I read as well, or, you know, what I thought about the ability as well. And the other 20%, a small portion of that was just, I can't put as much time in as those guide writers can because they're dedicated to a specific class or specialization, or I just outright disagreed with what they were saying, but it was because of the context, right? Of saying like, oh, well, this ability sucks because it sucks for raiding. And I'm like, yeah, but that ability is good if you're leveling, you know? So if you have any questions about that, let me know. The new race class combinations, there's actually not a lot of these. So this was Priest, Mage, and Rogue are now available to any race except Evokers. They worded it vaguely, but Evokers are still not included in that. So I think that added like Tauren Priest and Tauren Mage and High Mountain Mage and Draenei Rogue, Tauren Rogue. It wasn't a whole lot. Customize your user interface. That's what we're going to do here once the pre-patch goes live, is we're going to get into the editing software and do that. The new accessibility features, we're going to check that out too. PvP rated solo shuffle is in there, and then tier set bonuses will no longer work. I don't have any tier sets, so that's okay. And then November 15th is when we're getting some of the actual expansion stuff. We're getting the Drakthir class and their starter zone. We're going to get the Primal Storms pre-patch event, and we're getting a revamped dungeon, Uldaman, which was one I ran a lot during Vanilla and Burning Crusade. Legacy of Tyr. And my understanding is this is going to drop some better gear, like some nice pre-patch level gear. And then Dragonflight comes out November 28th. So yeah, 252 catch-up gear. That's going to be really nice. I'm going to have all my characters level 60 before this pre-patch event drops. But it'll be nice to go through and get some of them geared up with the 252 catch-up gear from the events, which is probably what I'm going to focus on. So how many of you out there are going to be leveling alts during the pre-patch? I know there's like a good mix of like some people have already leveled up their alts over the course of Shadowlands, or they don't have alts, they're going to play a main, but like how many of you are going to be actively leveling, you know, a couple of alts and trying to get them ready, you know, by the time Dragonflight hits on November 28th? In about the past week, I've gotten, well, let's say 2 weeks. Well, a week and a half. In the past week and a half, I've gotten 7 characters from 50 to 60, mostly just playing for 2 to 3 hours in the evening, a couple days during the work week, and then like a big push on the weekend. 2 more to finish to 60. Okay. Wolf, hey, how's it going? That's what you said, and that's what I'm saying. Just need to finish my rogue. Started Threads of Fate yesterday. Okay, so here's my recommendation for Threads of Fate. Okay, this is the way I've been leveling my characters, and this is the way I will recommend because I've been doing it, and it has been taking me roughly three or less hours to get from 55 to 60, and maybe an hour and a half or something to get from 60 to 55. Maybe. I don't know if those are good times, but we're talking 50 to 60 each character, less than 5 hours for sure. If you want to go Threads of Fate and you want to have the flexibility to not have to repeat the exact same content every single time, and you don't want to grind dungeons or anything like that. So what I did is I took my characters and I went around. So first off, when you get to Threads of Fate, you know, skip them all, get in there, choose Threads of Fate, and then don't talk to anyone else in Oribos, right? Don't talk to the person who tells you about the covenants and everything. Just go up to the flight point and head to one of the zones. When you fly into the zone, it's going to pop up and it's going to give you the quest where you have to aid the Kyrian, or aid the Venthyr, aid the Night Fae, aid the whatever the Maldraxxus people are called. I don't remember. It's going to give you that quest. And then if you look on your map, once you have that quest, you're going to see a bunch of bonus objectives, which are the cross swords on the map. Go around and do all the bonus objectives in all the zones, right? So what this is going to do is you can only do those one time, and you'll knock them out. They usually award a piece of gear, so you'll get, you know, some gear replacements for your characters and kind of get them a little beefed up. Then go back, pick a zone, and work on filling up that bar that says aid the Kyrian or aid the Venthyr or whatever, but do it by picking up the quests that are on the map. All right, do this for a couple reasons. One, you're getting the 50% bonus XP. The quests contribute to that bar, and most of the quests will award you with a piece of gear. Almost every quest that you're going to do is going to give you a piece of gear, so you'll constantly keep upgrading your gear as you do this. As soon as you fill that bar that says aid the Kyrian or whatever faction you're doing, go turn it in, leave the zone, and go to the next one that you still have a bar for. I guarantee if you do that, you will not be able to finish all of those bars before you hit level 60. Okay, you'll probably get 2 to 3 of them done, and you might be working on the last one, but you won't get to the last one. And you'll be probably somewhere around like item level 130, 120 to 150, depending on whether you get random upgrades and stuff like that by the time you get to the end. So that's my recommendation for leveling alts during the pre-patch. And part of the reason that I recommend doing it that way is because if you're going to do multiple alts, let's say you go to Bastion and you start in the southwest corner down there by that first flight point, and you do all those quests, and you get maybe a third or a halfway through the quest on the map. When you come back with the next character, you can go all the way up to the northeast side, start with the quest there, and progress through those about a third or a half of the way through. So you get variety. You don't have to do the same quests over and over and over. I mean, you will depending on how many alts you have to level. But if you just have like 1 to 3, like you can almost not even repeat a lot of the content as you're doing this. So that's what I found was pretty good. We did 8 characters that way. And it wasn't until character number 8 that I was like, oh man, I feel like I've done this stuff way too much. I don't want to do it anymore. Then we just kind of, another thing you can do if you want to shake things up and change things up is every day, jump in the pit, go to Torghast, and there's a daily quest that you can do to run 1 5-floor wing of Torghast, and it gives you about a third or a half of a level of experience. So you could do that too if you just want to change things up. So that's my recommendations for that. All right, so what do you guys want to talk about next? I think I'm going to jump in. We're going to go to Wowhead. If you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to run through a bunch of the news we have here because we've gotten a lot of different things. I think I haven't watched the new cinematic yet, so I think we'll do that here as well. So let's pop on over. So lots and lots of, hot fixes and stuff. I haven't been paying too much attention to that kind of stuff. And I feel like all these where are all the new posts from today? This is everything? Beta keys. Well, they don't have most of anything. Actually, let's go World of Warcraft news, because they put out a bunch of news. All right, let's go World of Warcraft. Okay, here we go. So let's check out this Dragonflight Legacies Chapter 1. I have not seen this. Hey, I got the tender bot again. I feel like this is success, I was never getting this before. All right, they're gone. Let's see. World first has to be a beating to your mental health. Poor people. I agree. All right, let's go ahead and pause this and let's take a look at Legacies. I'm going to play like a little bit of this and you guys let me know if it's like way too low. Is that super low? Can you guys even hear that? I'm going to crank it up just for this one. We're going to go up here. All right, it's going to be significantly louder than it was, but it shouldn't be louder than me. You almost found your true love on Tinder? I know. All right, let's check it out. Kind of makes me think of Diablo, weirdly. All right, we got Nosdormu.
This place holds many mysteries, but few answers.
Stop there! Who are you?
One who would be your guide. Tell me, what do you remember from before?
My general. A fierce battle. And then I was imprisoned in darkness.
But now, you are free.
What are you?
Come, there is much I would show you to prepare you for the challenges that lie ahead.
Is the volume okay? Okay, who is this? I like the voice actors for sure. The whole captured dragon. So we got Nosdormu. He's swirling his shifty little sands around and everything. So I'm assuming he's traveling through time about all this. I wonder what the significance of like the axe is here. I mean, I saw that, you know, there's like this looks like Drakthir.
General.
Oh, whoa, what is this thing? I mean, it looks like a dragon, but it's got like a weird, like, dune worm kind of face going on.
A fierce battle. And then I was imprisoned in darkness.
Prepare you for the challenges that lie ahead.
Alright, let's continue.
This place, so strange. Where are we?
Where is less important than when.
I was going to say,
thousands of years ago.
like, where's all the snow? And I was like, where's all the snow coming from? I think, is there a zone? Does one of the zones have a snowy section in it? I know there's like some mountains that, like, maybe on the tops of the mountains they have snow, but I don't remember if one of the new zones has snow on it or not.
Than when? Many thousands of years ago, when our world was young. Azeroth was home to the ancestors of dragons. Primitive beasts ruled by primal instincts. Yet.
So this is basically, like, this story is found in Chronicle as told by the Titans and Odin. Anyway. That's weird. It's like a fell dragon.
Yet, there were a few in whom the spark of intelligence was lit, who thought, spoke, and felt more deeply than the rest.
What does this have to do with me?
Were it not for them, your people would not be.
Derp.
From these proto-dragons,
Yep.
there arose the monster.
Oh,
Galakrond.
yeah, Galakrond. Look at how he's like an alien spaceship flying over the entire planet.
There arose the monster, Galakrond.
Dang.
Whose insatiable hunger would have consumed us all.
Wait. What are the chances we get like a Caverns of Time 2? Wouldn't that be cool? I would love a Caverns of Time number 2. Maybe this time you go to the future. Well, I think we went to the future once or twice. That'd be cool, though.
Hunger would have consumed us all. When the fate of our kind was at stake, we five overcame the instincts of fear and self-preservation and united to battle the Leviathan.
What are you gonna do against that? What? It's like a bunch of seagulls fighting Godzilla. It's ridiculous.
Instincts of fear and self-preservation and united to battle the Leviathan.
So, you were one of...
Okay. I'm really digging the music in the background right here.
Fear and self-preservation and united to battle the Leviathan.
So, you were one of these.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying, yeah,
For
right.
our bravery, risking everything to save the world, we were granted a gift of the Titans, transformed into something greater. Together, we became the Aspects, leaders of the...
This is like super Captain Planet-y, right? Super Captain Planet-y.
Together, we became the Aspects, leaders of the Dragonflights, the protectors of Azeroth.
Oh, definitely.
In time, we took on visages like this to better commune with the younger races.
Why have you shown me this?
I am Nosdormu. I was aspect of the Bronze Flight. It is my fate to see all of time. But now a threat to our world approaches. An ancient enemy has returned. You will play a part in the...
Wait, who? Who? Where are the hints to this? I don't know anything about... I have no idea who the antagonist... Who is the antagonist of Dragonflight? Is there one? I thought this was like the Cuddle Puppies expansion. Like, who's the bad guy? Dragonblight. Gonna bring back Galakrond? Oh. Let's see.
But now a threat to our world approaches. An ancient enemy has returned. You will play a part in the events to come, and you will have to make a difficult choice, as we did.
I am not like you.
No. My story is already written, but yours, and that of all Drakthir, is only beginning to unfold.
I'm a little conflicted because why doesn't Nosdormu know? Why doesn't he know what's going on? He's the time dragon. I mean, shouldn't he be able to see some possibilities or something here? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Hello, Tinderbot. Welcome back. I know Murazond is making his debut in here again. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Murazond, yeah, that's always a possibility. That's a potential, for sure. All right, yeah, so here's the mage, priest, rogue of any race. Anybody doing a race change to these combos? I mean, like I said, the new ones, there's not too many of them. Oh, yeah, I think it was Tauren and Orc priest, and then like Tauren, Draenei, and High Mountain rogues, and then Tauren and High Mountain mages, I think, was what got added. Of course, they don't list them. Why would they? All right, let's take a look at the get into the grid of things with the updated UI and HUD. So this is what we're going to be messing with here when the pre-patch goes live. So sweeping changes have been made from the ground up. So we got a whole new look. Now, this is a misconception that I've been seeing. There's been a lot of people that are saying, I want my old UI back that I've been using for 18 years. And go play Classic? No, I don't. There'll be an add-on that adds that back. But one of the misconceptions that I've been seeing is that people are saying that, oh, you can toggle it on. You can't. There's no use the old UI assets toggle in the game. When this goes live, there is a classic preset and there is the modern preset. And from what I've seen, literally the only difference is the modern preset has the action bar higher and has your target interface in these areas, whereas the classic bar is right down at the bottom again, and it puts your target stuff up in the corner. So this is more of a positioning preset than it is anything else. This is not a assets preset where it's going to make the buttons look the way they were, make the griffins look the way they were, change the bags back. It's not doing any of that stuff. It's just positioning based. So if you are someone who really, really, really just wants the old UI and you don't want the new update, you're probably going to have to look for an add-on that will do that for you, because this is just positioning. So the minimap and the health bar are much more prominent. We removed some clutter to make more viewable space, etc., etc. Cleaned up the appearance of the action bar, added new griffins, and created wyverns for Horde. We've got new stuff for the loot and inventory display. So this is pretty cool. You can do separated bags or you can do one combined bag. So the one combined bag thing is super nice. Personally, I use an add-on called Sorted, which I have to see if it's up to date. For my bags, it's one that I like a lot because I can sort by various categories. So if all you really want is just a basic bag add-on, so you can have one big bag instead of a bunch of small ones, like that's built in now. So you don't have to get an add-on for that. If you do want a lot of the enhanced functionality of being able to sort and filter, and things like that, then you probably will still need a bag add-on, and there's a variety of them out there. I think most of the ones that I showcased in my video here on the channel still exist. And I've actually, like I said, I use one called Sorted, which I'll check in on. So make it your own. Edit mode. Edit mode is super easy, you guys. They made edit mode, at least in terms of just like positioning everything, super, super easy. It looks like they have a little clip here. Let me go ahead and get that back down where it's supposed to be. So to me, like the problem or the issue here, the challenge is not going to be making the edits, because it is really easy. It's a really intuitive system, I think, for the most part, especially if you have any kind of add-on experience at all. The challenge is going to be in creating a setup that makes sense and works and isn't just stuff all over the screen. But once you do this, you can save it, you can copy it, you can share it. Super, super awesome. I'm really looking forward to putting this together and sharing it with you guys, especially in the context of using it for my guides. So we'll be doing that. But yeah, like here's an example. Like this is actually super easy to create. I mean, you literally just drag the map down here, you set up 2 bars, and you're good to go. So this is not difficult. It's pretty easy. So this is some stuff I'm interested in here. Improved accessibility to make things easier. I wanted to talk about a couple of these. So first off, they're including an interact key. Pressing the interact key is going to enable you to interact with NPCs and objects with a key press instead of a mouse click. Okay, this seems like something that's tailored towards eventually having control, like better controller support, or possibly enabling World of Warcraft on consoles. Interact key is like absolutely crucial to that. Even I believe the add-on that lets you get really in-depth controller support has an interact key like this. Just realized, let's put some music back on. So that's interesting to me. That's kind of a shout out to possibly making it a console thing eventually. Maybe that's something that the Xbox thing is sort of leaning to. So it's essentially making things like LVUI irrelevant. Well, first off, Amaki, welcome to the stream. Haven't seen you before. Appreciate you being here. I don't think so. I'll show you when we get into the game, but I can talk about it a little bit more. I think this doesn't actually eliminate the need for a lot of add-ons. And I'll explain why after we kind of cover this. So this one here, press and hold casting. So when enabled, the player can press and hold a keyboard hotkey to cast a spell in an action bar without repeatedly pressing the button. I am not really sure what this is useful for. Like, conceptually, it sounds cool, but generally with most rotations, you're pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And very rarely do you have a scenario where you're pressing 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? And that's the only scenario where I really see this being relevant. So even though, because I have carpal tunnel, I have nerve issues in my hand and stuff like that, and I looked at this and just went, I don't really see how this makes that big of a difference. if you're playing your class and going through your rotation and you're not just like spamming fireball on the same target until it dies, like, which maybe some people will do that, but I would love it if you guys have insight into how you think that's helpful. I would love to have my perception and my perspective expanded on that, because I didn't really see how this would be super useful. Action combat is one that I'm actually really interested to do a lot of testing on. So this frustrates me to no end when I'm like angled as a tank and the mob runs over here and all of a sudden it's like, you're facing the wrong way. You're facing the wrong way. And I'm like, I don't actually need to target that guy. I just need to target anyone in front of me. And there's 15 people in front of me. So I don't want to like click. And if I tab target through 15 people, who knows when I'll hit one that's in front of me. So with this, this will allow you to start casting abilities immediately and dynamically switch between targets based on where you're looking. So I really want to try this from a melee perspective. I did test this out a little bit on the beta, but not extensively because it didn't come in until later and you had to enable it through a chat command. They didn't have it built into the menu for a while. So I really do want to try this, especially on tanks where I'm going to pull, 8 to 18 different targets at the same time. Because I think that would be incredibly useful when I just need to target anything in front of me to keep my abilities going. And I don't actually care which one I'm hitting at that point. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. So as far as the making things like LVUI totally irrelevant, I don't think it does. So I think Wowhead I thought I saw them just put something out about LVUI. Oh, you know what? I think I might have... Okay, let's go over to live. Okay, here we go. This is where this is why I wasn't seeing a lot of the news. So here's the LVUI add-on updated for Dragonflight. So LVUI lets you move everything. To my knowledge, you can move pretty much everything. One thing, if you look at this here, you see all these boxes that kind of have the blue background behind them. This is all the stuff you can move. Look, right there. You can't move the bags. You can't move the menu. That's stuff you can move with Blizz Move. You can move with LVUI. You can move with other add-ons. So it's going to let you move that stuff off. It's also a skin, right? So it changes the overall appearance and gives it a cohesive look. What you're going to find in this UI is not everything is updated to this new look. Some of the random profession windows, I don't think the character window, I'll have to check, but some of those windows still have the old look. So it's not 100% unified yet anyway. It's something I think they'll keep working on. But if you want a unified look, then you go with something like LVUI, or you do what I do, which is you have sort of like a style guide for your UI and you apply it across your different add-ons and you find the add-ons that will let you do that to make a cohesive theme across your UI so it all looks like it's supposed to be there. Additionally, there's functionality in LVUI and other add-ons that's just not like built in, like there's no place for you to get like I think the new bag, you can have a list of a variety of currencies now, which I think you can customize those if I remember correctly. But there's stuff like that, there's things that those add-ons provide that just because the new UI has a updated look and you can move it around and kind of customize it, it doesn't mean that all that additional functionality was added in. So that's why I think that things like LVUI and just add-ons in general are not going to go away based on this. What I do think it means is that for people who don't want to deal with add-ons, they're going to have a way to customize their UI, right? And especially in the case of people who want to use something different, but maybe don't have the patience, the skill set, or the time to make a custom UI like this, the ability to import someone else's is going to be a really nice, handy feature as well. So that's kind of my thoughts overall on that stuff with the UI. And so what I'm going to do is make that kind of base UI that anybody can import as like a starting point. So there's going to be the classic preset, the modern preset, and there'll be a Tsetzuko preset essentially. But then for my own personal use, I'm still going to layer a bunch of add-ons on top of it anyway, because there's functionality and things like that that I want that this doesn't have. So yeah, LV and all that, LV UI, still going to be there, 100%. So yeah, we got the maintenance. We watched the legacies. So pre-purchase is required for Evoker access. That's should be pretty obvious, but just in case it isn't, it is required. Also, as of the pre-patch, Shadowlands now included in the base WoW subscription, so you can play Shadowlands just with the subscription. You don't have to purchase it anymore. Dragonflight is the next thing. And then I think other than that, oh yeah, I wanted to look at these videos here. Like, so there's the features overview video. I think that was the main one. Yeah, I want to look at this one too. And then we'll look at the talent trees. And we're going to get into the talent trees just a little bit as we wait for this maintenance to be over. Which hopefully is not too long. We'll keep an eye out. If any of you get in and the servers work, please spam it in the chat so we know. All right. So let's take a look at this features video. I'm going to crank the volume up on that again. And let's just see if there's any interesting footage in here that we know what the features are for the expansion, right? But let's see if we can look at maybe some zones or creatures or things we haven't really seen yet or talked about. Return to Azeroth, of course. So we got the nice plains, big mountain. Nothing too crazy. I like the skybox. It's kind of got that very like, to me, it's like adventurous. That's really what I want the vibe of this expansion to be, is adventure. I don't know if that's the case, but we'll see. Now, Alexstrasza. All right, explore the Dragon Isles. You know what? It's 30 seconds. We'll let it play one time, then we'll go back through and take a look. Okay, so coming back here, we got this view with like some like swirly wind stuff back there. This is a, temple. I'm not sure if this is like a dungeon or a raid, or I haven't really been paying attention to that because I don't want to spoil it for myself or anything like that. I think this is probably, I mean, don't quote me on it, but this looks like it's going to be the Onaran Plains, possibly. I don't know how hilly they are. Again, I've been trying not to spoil the zones for myself too much either. I thought this was interesting, right? We got these trees again. This is really making me think of Darkshore, right? It's like Darkshore meets Northrend in a weird clash of... And hey, there's our like little snow area. We got a giant back there. I think this outfit for Drakthir looks dope. I like that one. That one's super cool. I wonder what just like your random like weird armor is going to look like on them. Are they going to do like they do Worgens, which is make them look absolutely terrible? Or are they going to have like custom helms and stuff? Dragon riding, we'll have to see whether or not that gets old. I think it's fun so far, but I could also see just being like frustrated when you're like, I just want to get up, I just want to make it, and it definitely requires attention. I love this little section here though. Like the colors and everything with this. Like, and it looks like a dragon race, right? Which we know we're getting dragon races through one of the major factions at in-game. Talent trees. What do we have there? What was that? Rogue? Rogue and Shaman? Yeah, Rogue and Shaman. Okay, I kind of thought there would be like a little bit more to that than there is. Only 137,000 views. Ooh, I don't know about the hype. I don't know about the hype on this expansion. Oh, man. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the talent trees here. And this is what I've been harping at and talking about on my channel. It's the entire reason I came back to start playing the game, right? So what's new? You got your class side, you got your specialization side, right? That's pretty much what's new. And then there are a million talents. And this is something I wanted to talk to you about. So if you're here watching and you're willing to type in the chat, or if you're watching this as a VOD later on and you want to leave it in a comment, I kind of want to address a dilemma I've been having. So if you go into, and I've brought this up before, but I'm bringing it up again because at this point we're here. The pre-patch is here, right? Let's go to Warrior. Let's go to Protection. So when I previously made a guide, I would go through and there would be 10 rows, 3 talents each. And I could easily go through and tell you which one I would pick, why, and then give a quick little blurb about the ones that I didn't pick. And all in all, I'm talking about 30 abilities, right? And across, at the time, 36 specializations. That wasn't terrible. It was a lot of work, but it wasn't terrible. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. 56 talents on the warrior side of the class tree. And that's not counting all the ones that are on the protection side of the talent tree. 50. That's almost double the amount of talents that I had to talk about in the previous guides. And also, there's more of them I have to talk about in depth because you're putting X amount of points in, right? Typically, right now for the guides I'm looking at making, they go up to level 60 because that's pretty much where we're at. So to get to level 60 on these, you have to invest enough points. So we're talking 26 talents that I have to talk about just on the warrior side of the tree. And then about the same amount, 24, 25, I think, on the protection tree. So for every specialization, I have to talk about approximately 50 talents instead of 30. And this is just absolutely like a mind-boggling amount of stuff to go over. And I want you guys within a week, ideally within a week from today, I want to have stuff ready for you guys so that you can copy one of my builds and use it. I really miss the old talent trees. I'm so excited they're bringing them back. Me too. Absolutely super excited. I want to show you an example of why I want to give you guys my talent trees, okay? And this is not me ragging on Wowhead. It's a difference in perspective, okay? So class guides have been updated for Dragonflight pre-patch. So if we go into Wowhead and we go to their talent trees, and let's take a look at Protection Warrior. All right, okay, actually, let's take a look at Arms Warrior. So if we go to Arms Warrior and we look at the talent builds, we have Arms Warrior Raid talent builds. We have Juggernaut. We have a list of the key Juggernaut talents. Then we have Arms Warrior Mythic Plus talent builds. Blood and Thunder, Key Blood and Thunder talents. The end. We don't have a Arms Warrior leveling talent build. We don't have an Arms Warrior open world content build. We don't have anything like that. It's literally Raid, Mythic Plus, and that's it. So if we go to Protection, right? Protection Warrior. This one actually has, so Mythic Plus, we've got a Raid Warrior talent build, and then they actually included a leveling talent build. Okay, so this was one of the nice ones where the writer of this guide went in and put in their leveling build. Now, looking through this, I saw many similarities to what I did for my build, but there's also a lot of key differences. And part of the reason for this is I think that if you look here, balance of defensive value, self-healing tools, and offensive cooldowns to help make the leveling process quick, smooth, and simple. I'm going to be honest, like I feel like this build, the amount of time that went into this build is probably the amount of time I would put into this build. Because I don't spend the majority of my time raiding. I spend the majority of my time doing this, leveling and open world content. So, like for me, I don't want to take Rallying Cry like this. There's no reason for me to use Rallying Cry, leveling, or in open world content. Like at no point do I need to buff my health, and I don't need to buff everybody else's health either. So this is like a point I would just not put here. I would much rather have Berserker's Rage, because if I'm solo, or even if I'm not solo, and I get feared, which happens quite a bit depending on what content you're doing, you know, I want to have a button to get out of that and get back to what I was doing, because this could actually kill me, whereas this, I usually don't need it to save me. So there's some differences in here. And I think it's because I focus my content on this. This is what I do the most all the time. So I want to get these builds to you guys, and I can show you. Let's open up their protection tree calculator. So I've started working on a spreadsheet. Sorry for blinding you. Also, let me turn the, nope, not that. Let's turn the music back on. Keep forgetting. I've started working on a spreadsheet where I am just doing, this is all I'm doing. And I want to know if you guys think this is useful to you, right? So what I'm doing is I'm putting just warrior protection. Here's a link to my talent calculator for the build. And here's the import code to grab the build and paste it into your talent tree. Now, I can do this for everything and have it done probably within a week, but I won't be able to do as much testing as I would want to do on these builds to be able to present them as guides. Does that make sense? These would kind of be the beta versions of these builds. I've played most of these builds on the alpha and beta, but the big caveat to that is that I have not been able to thoroughly test them after Blizzard hit stuff with the ban hammer or the nerf hammer so hard, right? So the protection build that I was playing, was great. And then Blizzard slapped it with the nerf hammer a bunch of times, and it's still totally fine. Still totally fine. Still basically the build that I'm going to use, right? But I haven't had time to test a lot of these builds between when I was playing them on the beta versus when Blizzard did a whole bunch of tuning and now. So I want to know if having this is better than having nothing. Because if it's not better than having nothing, if you're just going to use the starter guide, you're going to make your own build, you don't really care, then I might as well invest that time into getting these builds created and tested so that I can get guide videos out. But I feel like this is going to be useful to you. But just as an example, This is the talent build I have for Protection Warrior in open world content versus the one that they have. And I was going to break this out. But yeah, so this is their build. This is my build. Right, there's a lot of similarities, but again, like right here, I didn't take Rallying Cry, I took Berserker Rage. Right? Wonder if I can line these up. Let's put it right there. Let's put this one right there. So you can see there's a few changes here and there. So what do you guys think? Do you think having this is going to be useful just so you can have something to reference? Because the ones that I'm making are going to be specifically tuned for leveling, world questing, open world content. It's going to have nothing to do with dungeons or raids or anything like that. It's supposed to help you level your alts during the pre-patch and to help you level your characters during Dragonflight. And eventually, once those guides are taken care of, then we can work on other guides, you know, for different types of content. So let me know. I don't see too many people jumping in the chat to let me know one way or the other here. So hopefully those of you watching on the VOD will be able to tell me. So that's what I'm looking at, is potentially just doing this. I was thinking about like making these and then kind of doing a video where I run through and kind of just briefly talk about the build and what the purpose is. But again, I think that's a lot of time being invested into something that I might as well just put these out and go, hey, if you have a question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to put that work into getting started on the actual guides, doing the testing for these so I can make updates to them and change them. So that's what's going on with these. I think having something as a starting point is nice, right? Because Blizzard has a starting build, but do you really want to use Blizzard's starting build? I mean, do you want to use Blizzard's? I wouldn't want to. And like I said, like this is not a knock on the builds on Wowhead by any means. Like, so some of these include like a leveling build, you know, but not all of them. Now, one thing I will definitely say though, this is what I'll say for sure. If you want to pull my builds when I get them, what they have put in here is most of them, if you go to abilities and talents, they do have a nice breakdown and commentary on on all the talents. Okay, and they've broken them down like this, like row 1 talents, and they'll tell you like kill command, what this is. What's a better one? Okay, so like post haste causes disengage to clear routes and increase your movement speed by a large amount for a few seconds. If they don't have anything to say about it, they just kind of describe what it is, right? But sometimes they'll put in like some commentary and say like, oh, this is actually garbage, or this is pretty good, or like this is when you use it, used when kiting a large amount of enemies, that kind of stuff. So if you want an overview of the talents like this, the ones so far what I've read from the ones on Wowhead are pretty good. I don't know if like Icy Veins has anything out yet. Yeah, so Icy Veins has got theirs as well. I haven't looked at theirs at all. Let's look at Protection Warrior. Let's see what we have in here. Builds and talents. Pre-patch example builds. Oh, your builder is not looking great here on the import. This looks better. This one looks whack. What is this? Show points by level. Oh, interesting. So this is talent build for rating, talent build for Mythic Plus, and that's it. But they've got commentary as well. Yeah, so I want to see. Let's go Protection Warrior. Let's go talents and abilities. I want to see what they say. Okay, cool. So impending victory, excellent self-healing tool. Finally, a good self-heal for Protection Warriors. This is excellent. And then if you look at Icy Veins, they basically say the same thing. Strong self-heal and a fairly short cooldown. This is a must-have pick in any scenario as it helps us recover from spike damage. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can get the commentary here as well, broken down by row from Icy Veins. Look, can you guys see this though? Can you see how much work this is? Look at this commentary on, look, this is just pages and pages of, look at this. This is what I mean. Like the amount of work that goes into a guide or will go into a video now is absolutely insane. Like this is crazy. And granted, a lot of the warrior ones, like the class, the class ones, you don't necessarily have to go over them 3 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, but you do have to go over them, and you have to throw in the caveats for different specializations, right? Like Thunderclap will be one that's in here. Wherever the Thunderclap is. Should be up 1 or 2 nodes. Yeah. So here, Thunderclap, one of our core rotational abilities, which also provides us with Rage. There are so many talents that work together with this ability that this should be picked 100% of the time. Right? So if we go in and we go to Fury Warrior, and we go to Builds and Talents, and we go down to the overview here. Oh, this person doesn't even bother with the class tree. Yeah, they don't even bother with the class tree. That's funny. But basically, Thunderclap for Fury Warriors is useless. It's basically useless. Hey, I got more spam. Sweet. Tor says I want more to use your type of starting build instead of Blizzard. I can see why they changed how talent trees works. It does seem a little intimidating having that many options. And it is. It's gonna be for a lot of people. I think it's gonna be really intimidating. So that's why I think it's really important for me to have something, at least something for you guys, because most of you that are here on the channel, you're here because you like the way I explain things, which I'll get to in the guides, but it's a lot. It's a lot to explain. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot to talk about. It's going to be a lot of work. And there's 38 specializations now. So it's not something that I want to pump out quality. I want to put out a video. People here on the channel, you guys tell me all the time that you're still referencing the videos that I made like, what, 4 years ago for BFA, right? And part of the reason for that is, one, the classes didn't change that much between BFA and Shadowlands, so a lot of it is still relevant. But I took the time put the time in to explain things and make, even if it wasn't a high production quality video, it was a high quality video in terms of the information. And so I want to do the same thing here for you. But I feel like, you know, the other reason a lot of you are here is because you play WoW the way that I play WoW, or something similar to it, where you do spend a lot of time in the open world. You spend a lot of time, you know, farming old content or running dungeons. Maybe you're not a mythic raider, or, you know, you don't need all the crazy stuff that they need, and you want a build that's playable and makes sense, right? So I want you to have access to those And I have them. I have them for every single specialization. I just, you know, I think I'll maybe just add an intro tab, gonna blind you again, to this and just kind of say like, hey, I haven't had time to vet these between when I made them and when Blizzard hit everything with nerfs over and over and over and over again. So just take that with a grain of salt and keep in mind that, you know, I'm going to test them and update them as we go. And when I get a video out, that guide will be really solid. And he says, wow, the spam's going wild today. Yeah, it absolutely is. It's kind of nice. I feel popular because the Tinder bots and the Girls 18 online bots. I got a new one. You guys didn't see it. Luckily, my channel, the chat caught it, but there was another one on here too that was going a little bit crazy. So yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking right now that's what I'm gonna do. Is have just I have this right now. This is something I can go ahead and actually let me make sure. Let me switch this over real quick. Just chatting. I can go ahead and anyone with the link can view. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this link into the chat in case you do want to bookmark it. Like I said, my goal is probably by the weekend to have a build for every specialization in here, you know, and then like I said, over time I will vet it and kind of go from there. They changed the positioning of an ability. Why would you? Oh, that's frustrating. What? Oh no, maybe they didn't. No, it looks like they did. Oh, great. Sweet. Okay. Well, once the pre-patch is live, I can confirm where all the abilities are, and we'll get those all squared away and sorted out for you guys. Has anybody checked? Can we get in yet? Let me in. I'm going to try to see if I can get in. It's probably not up. But we'll check anyway. We're close. We're like 15 minutes out. Why are we getting an update? Best covenants for all classes updated for 10.0. Got the intro video. Nope, they're still offline. Well, we got a little bit more to wait here. Does anybody have any questions or anything like that? Do you have a talent tree you want me to look at for you, or a class you want to discuss, or anything? If not, I have a question for you. So servers are offline. Yeah, I just tried. I want to get in there and I want to make this UI like pretty bad right now. So let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to give you just a minute to post anything in case you have anything. And if you don't, then I've got a question for you guys. And this question is going to help me out. We're going to pull this up over here. All right. Well, doesn't look like anybody has any. Oh, wait, we got one. JM, welcome to the stream. Don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. I'm having a hard time choosing between Shaman, Warrior, and Hunter. Warrior seems more fun than Enhancement. Hunter seems more fun than Elemental, but Shaman can do it all and is super good and fun. Much easier to make a group because you can also heal. So, what do you like to do the most in WoW? Dungeons, raids? Do you just kind of do your own thing and, you know, quest and, you know, gear up your character through world content, or do you farm old content? You know, the context for that I think is pretty important. Especially if you're having a hard time choosing between all of them because they seem fun. Mostly PvP and Mythic Plus, a lot of solo and Pug. Okay. So Hunter seems more fun than Elemental. Warrior seems more fun than Enhancement. Okay, does Warrior seem more fun than Elemental? Like, my general thoughts are, do you want to heal in Mythic Plus or PvP? If not, do you want to tank in Mythic Plus or PvP? Because if you don't, then you can kind of rule that out as a factor, right? If you don't want to heal or you don't want to tank in PvP or Mythic Plus, then that doesn't carry as much weight, right? So then it comes down to, all right, which DPS class or specialization do you think is the most fun? And then also, would you rather be ranged or melee? You know, that's how I would start to look at it. Do I care about healing and tanking? Yes or no? And then, would I rather be ranged or melee? And if you can kind of narrow that down, then at least you're cutting some... I would kind of break it down maybe by specialization too, right? Not just shaman, warrior, hunter. Break it down. Elemental, resto, like cut out the ones that you don't think you're super interested on. See which one has the most specializations and try that one first, because you can always change your mind later, right? You just got to pick a starting point. So that's what I would do. All right, here's my question for you guys while we wind down, hopefully what's going to be the last couple of minutes until the pre-patch actually drops and the servers go nuts and we get in the queues and then we, you know, all fight and it's 10 p.m. and we got to go to bed and we'll see. Hopefully that's not what happens. So it has been a long time since I have bothered digging into add-ons for WoW. So I'm interested to know if you guys have any favorite add-ons that are maybe new or have come out in the past 2 years or have had major updates or something like that, that you think that I should look into and check out, because I'm getting into the stage here coming up where I'm going to be digging through and trying to find add-ons that I like and I want to apply or want to use in Shadowlands. So for those of you who have been playing all the way up to this point, are there any super good add-ons that you think I should take a look at? Because I'm going to start compiling a list. Also, I know I saw several of the add-ons that I use are like pretty out of date. Like they're not being maintained, like their creators didn't like Shadowlands and quit. So I'm definitely looking for some new ones. It looks like some of the ones I'm going to pull this up over here. I'm looking at this is CurseForge, just to kind of look at the repository. I think they still have one of the better visual repositories in my opinion to kind of look through. And I mean, like WeakAuras, super important for me. It looks like Pawn actually got an update and a new icon. It's cool. It looks the same. I mean, functionally it looks the same with this weird textured background back there, you know, but I do like Pawn. I don't know. Is it still just, was I getting them? Where was I getting my Pawn imports from? Was it Icy Veins? Man, it's been a minute. I feel like it wasn't. Why do I feel like it wasn't Pawn? Man, don't give me weird Icy Veins, Wowhead. I know you could pull them from, I think Ask Mr. Robot has them, or you can make them. I think that's where I had started getting them from at the end. What do we got? Deadly Boss mods. Deadly Boss. Why am I saying, yeah, DBM? What is DBM? What's it stand for? It's Deadly Boss mods, right? Is it mods? Is M mod? Yeah, mods. Okay. I was like, actually, it's just DBM. Deadly Boss. Deadly Boss. Yeah. Deadly Boss mods, details, Bagnon, and handy notes. Do you think you're still going to need Bagnon with the updates? Not Badnon, Bagnon. Updated 2 days ago. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. What did Bagnon? What's Bagnon doing different? Anything these days? I mean, you got your this. I mean, all this functionality in the picture is in there now. Tooltip counts. Yeah, I don't think tooltip counts are in there. Or cross character counts. I don't think that shows. Yeah, so personally, I need to see if sorted is updated. It's probably not. Updated 4 hours ago. Oh, sorted 2.0. Dragonflight ready. Sweet. This is my my bag add-on of choice. I likes it. I like it a lot. Oh, they changed the font. Oh, cool. So some little extra customization in there. Yeah, that's the one I like. Let's see. LUI. It's not new, though, but I need this UI to continue. Wow. Rootsun, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming in and chit-chatting. Let's take a look. I've looked at LUI before, I think. It's like a replacement UI, right? Okay, yeah. I've looked at this. I've installed a lot of these and looked at them before. So yeah, this is a pretty like this makes me think like more sci-fi than anything. It might, you know, it's got kind of a sci-fi vibe to me. I don't know. It's very Lich King too, right? Delayed another hour. Please tell me it's not so. We'll keep hanging out, you guys. As long as you want to talk and hang out, we'll keep hanging out. I knew going in that there's a good chance. 7 p.m. Oh my goodness. Just put it up and let us break it, right? Let us break it. Well, okay. After we talk about add-ons, if nothing else, what I'm going to do, if the beta is up, which I think the beta should still be up. We'll see. If the beta's up, we'll see if the beta's up. If it is, we'll go mess with the UI in there. And I'm going to see if I can just export that code and import it into the actual game when it pops up. I'd planned to kind of chit-chat until about this time, so delays. Can't really say I've used any add-ons made within the last 2 years, but I love Sexy Map. Sexy Map. I have looked at that one before. It is not the one that I use. Why did I just type sexy? Okay. Wife. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. She is sexy. Okay. I wonder if she's gonna like be happy I said that or come in here and beat me. Yeah, I've used Sexy Map before because I remember, yeah, this. This is not the one that I use. I think I put a WoW add-ons folder here. Switch over here real quick. So yeah, this is a list of some of the, I don't use all these, they're just installed. Mapster. Is that the one I use? I think I use Mapster. Because there's another one I have in basic minimap is another one. So let's see. So yeah, let's see if Mapster is updated. 2 hours ago. Sweet. Oh, this is the world map enhancement add-on. Right. So I think it's basic minimap. Sorry if I'm blinding you with the basic minimap. Updated 4 hours ago. Sweet. Yeah, this is the one I use. It's very basic. It just, lets you kind of... It changes the map to something that's minimalist and doesn't have a whole lot of graphics. 12-hour patch for a revamped talent tree and UI customization. Launch day is gonna suck. I mean, hopefully they get it out of the way. Like, I'm not taking off for the launch of Dragonflight. I'm not. It comes out the 28th. I'm taking the last week of the year off. So I'll put some time in then. I'm gonna spend the weekend before launch, probably, leveling up my Drakthir. My only drive to go back is because my priest has such awesome fan art. The storyline that I've been waiting years for. What baby likes baby kids. WoW Armory retired me with the worst transmog on. Here in the EU, we still have a few hours left to get new stuff, so after some more sleep, maybe you can go online. Titan Panel is one of my favorites as well. I was looking at Titan Panel, and I think that ultimately I decided that I just didn't need all of the information. Like, it was going to be an add-on that I added for not a lot of functions that I wanted out of it. What do you use it for? Like, what do you keep up there that you feel like you need to have visually up there all the time? I think that was my problem. Is they have a lot of cool options, but I was just like, I can just hit a button and get that. I guess maybe the XP info. I do like seeing like my time to level and stuff like that. I can't remember if Experiencer has time to level in there. Let me see if Experiencer is updated. Oh man, it hasn't been updated. Damn. That sucks. It was last updated in 2020. Oh. This is the one I like. Yeah, I might have to... If this doesn't get updated, I might have to find a new one. I wonder if there's like a GitHub branch or anything. Eesh. Well, or maybe it'll still work. There's one branch. Yeah, updated 2 years ago. Oof. Yeah, that's not good. What's the story behind Dragonflight? I left around the release of Shadowlands. Never mind, I found the trailer. Oh, Twice Dan, welcome back. I've seen you on the stream before. You were on the giveaway stream, I believe. Nice to see you back. Tor says World Quest list, still using it since you showed it in BFA. Me too, but I was having some issues, and I wasn't sure if it was because of World Quest list or not. So I actually like temporarily deleted it. I was having issues in the live game. Like my friends list would just disappear. I think I showed this off in the Discord. Here, I'll pull up the picture that I posted for it. Yeah, this is what I kept having, this error where this is what my friends list looked like, and I was like, is it because of an add-on that I have, or what's going on? I like disabled every add-on and it still was happening, and I was like trying to play with friends and people while leveling up all the characters, and I couldn't invite them. They had to invite me. Like, it was a whole thing. So, and it kind of happened to coincide with when I updated World Quest List. I determined it wasn't World Quest List. It was the problem, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, I'm still a big fan of this version. I've looked at the other ones and I still just don't really like. I like just having a list, just a straight up list. Here's what's in there. Do you remember Spartan UI? Dreadnought, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Had a very Lich King look. Yes, I do remember looking at Spartan UI. I think I looked at it recently. Wow. Okay, this one was updated in 2016. Oh, look at this. Have your health and mana bar become more alive with moving textures. Be excited. Oh man, it's not a lot going on in there. That's funny. Man, is the last comment on this from 2019? It is. Wow. I don't know if it was Spartan UI that there's one of them that definitely has a Lich King look. One that I kind of like is the I don't know what they call it, but it's like the Guild Wars. Why did I type guild? Is it like GWUI or something? Yeah, Guild Wars 2 UI. I actually like this one. It just kind of updates the WoW UI to look a lot like Guild Wars 2, which is a UI I enjoy, like the textures and stuff like that. You know, kind of little overall here. I think the action bar and stuff, it's pretty cool. I don't use it. Like I especially like this stuff, to me looks pretty cool. Man, I wonder if I could use it just for the character window. Man, that looks nice. What is? Oh, I see. Okay, they didn't have this in there. That is kind of neat. Did they do the 3 talent trees? That's kind of cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 7 in there. Well, that's still kind of cool though. Interesting. Mainly use it for frame rate. XP per hour and gold earned are nice as well for Titan panel. Yeah. Root Sun. There are massive amounts of add-ons that got updated today for 10.0. Good to see it. Yeah, I was really worried. Because a lot of them hadn't been open. Oh, did Opie get updated? I'm going to be in trouble if Opie didn't get updated. Okay, September 23, 2022. That's still relatively recent. Okay. Yeah, okay. Whew. I was worried. It hadn't been updated for like 2 years or something the last time I looked, which was, admittedly, it was a few weeks ago. But, I'm glad this one, you guys, is the one that, when you're asking about that radio ring that you see me using in the live game, that's what Opie is. Yeah, so good. Okay, I got updated at the end of September. Oh, thank goodness. That is a huge relief. Don't forget a pet tracking app. Is there any good pet ones? I should probably go to the categories, right? And go to like battle pets. Collections, maybe. Companions. Battle pets. Yeah, we still got all the things, so all the things is one for all the things for sure. Battle pet UI tweaks. Yeah, a bunch of this stuff has gotten updated like super recently. Leatrix is amazing for auto quest turn in and accept auto loot without having to stop just to run through the mobs. Yeah, absolutely. So you'll see my add-on folder here. I've got Leatrix Plus is in there. This is all the different stuff that I have. Did Narcissus get updated? I don't know how to spell narcissist. Narcissist updated 8 hours ago. Yeah, okay. It did get updated. Sweet. Oh yeah. Why would I get the Guild Wars UI when I use this thing to look at my character? Because this thing is dope. Narcissist is pretty damn cool for looking at your character for sure. I'll be interested to see what kind of updates they've made in the past couple years since I really have been using it. Yeah. I mean, this grayed out effect, this is an effect, right? Your character can be full color. Like they're doing this in like a photo setting, essentially. Doesn't look half bad. None given. Hey, welcome to stream, man. Appreciate you tuning in. We're all sitting here waiting on the dang pre-patch. Waiting on the darn pre-patch. Shadowlands current maintenance has been extended. We apologize for any disruption. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Opie, don't forget it. Leatrix, is it better than AAP? You've never heard of Leatrix? I thought AAP was like a... Is AAP not a library? What is Azeroth Autopilot? Oh, AAP is yeah, so Leatrix is not a... So, okay, so AAP is one that I generally recommend. Let's check and see if it's updated. Azeroth Autopilot. No. Azeroth Pilot Reloaded. A continuation of Azeroth Autopilot. Okay, so it looks like these haven't been updated. Last updated 2021. Let's see if there's a source. No, let's Google it. So I wonder if they're working on anything. Curseforge, Arcane Intellect. This is a spotlight. It's just a news article, not like an official. 3/11/2021. Yeah, okay, that's what it's showing on here too. March 11, 2021. Which, I mean, really, they don't need to update it constantly. I was trying to see if they're working on an update. Because you know what? Like, they're probably not going to... It's probably not going to... Oh, there's the Discord. Let's take a look. Updates 12/31/2020. Beta discussion. Retail WoW. Retail FAQ. I don't see anything. But for those of you who don't know what Azeroth Autopilot is, it's a very, very handy questing. Like, this is the add-on to put on and grind out a character level while listening to an audiobook or watching Netflix, because it literally just tells you, like, there's an arrow that's like, go here, and then it's like, do this, go here, talk to this person, turn it in, go there. Like, this is how I grinded out a lot of levels. I put this on, and then I just put an audiobook on, and I just kind of like zoned out and just grinded through. Very good add-on. I think I have it in here. Yeah, AAP. But Leatrix is totally different. Leatrix has nothing to do with like a leveling guide. So Leatrix is Leatrix Plus, Dragonflight. So this adds a bunch of like extra features. So here's a list. Okay, Leatrix is updated to 10.0. So yeah, would you recommend going to Leatrix? They're two different things. Okay, so with Leatrix, we got the features list here. So automatically accept and turned in quests. Hold Alt to select Gossip automatically. Accept a summon automatically. Accept resurrection automatically. Automatically release in PvP. Sell your junk automatically. A lot of bag add-ons have this. A lot of bag add-ons have the repair automatically as well. You can auto block duels, pet battle duels, party invites, like all kinds of stuff you can block. You can set it to automatically accept groups invites from people on your friends list. Chat updates. I usually use a chat replacement, which reminds me, is Glass updated? No, 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 no. I like Glass. Damn. I'm not taking Glass over maybe lately. Too busy. Here's an updated version of Glass for Dragonflight. Okay. I'll have to check that out. Because Glass is like my chat add-on of choice. But anyway, Leatrix, bunch of chat updates, text updates, interface stuff here. Like you can find it's just a list of extra features and automations that you can apply to your game. So totally different from Azeroth Autopilot. Sell your junk. Yes, sell your junk is one that you can get to, auto vendor everything, auto repair and stuff like that. If you don't have like a bag add-on or something like LVUI that totally overhauls your UI, you can do that as well. So yeah, just a big list. So that's Leatrix Plus. There's Leatrix Maps. So this one has a bunch of features for your maps as well. Like getting rid of, I think it'll get rid of, show unexplored areas by getting rid of Fog of War. Stuff like that. And then Leatrix Sounds, where you can kind of set sound files for different things and controls in your game as well. So it's really good for speed leveling, challenges like that. I also like the loot options it gives you. Yeah, I use it for the auto accept quest, auto accept or auto turn in quest, the auto repair, auto sell grays, that kind of stuff. So I have it in there for a lot of those functionalities. The auto loot thing is insane. Like you click the mob and then you just move because it, boom, click, and you're gone. You don't have to wait for the window to pop up and do all this stuff. So it definitely speeds up the looting process, which when you're leveling or doing like world quests and you're killing a ton of mobs, is a huge upgrade. Yeah, it's a really nice add-on. I like it a lot. What else is in here? Ooh, Kaliel's Tracker. We can move the quest log now, but we can't make it as pretty as I would like. So I wonder if Kaliel's got updated, because that one has been buggy as hell. Yeah. Okay, September 29. So I love this as a quest log overhaul. Super awesome. There's a lot of like filtering you can do. You can set the size of the window so it never gets bigger than the box you set it in, and it'll add a scroll bar. So you don't end up like if you have 17 quests, you don't end up with this huge long quest list that takes up half your screen. Really, really nice. I'm glad this one got updated for sure. What else is super important? Tiny tooltip. That's the one I use for tooltips. I wonder if that one got updated. Somehow we got into checking add-on updates. I'm totally okay with this. And I'm assuming those of you who are here are either compiling a list of tooltips, or sorry, not tooltips, add-ons that you can use, or it's not Tiny Tip. It's Tiny Tooltip. Okay, but there's no space. Got it. Let's just do tiny. Tiny Wang. Tiny tooltip. Updated March 24th. Ugh. Not great. Not great. Hopefully it gets updated. I really like Tiny Tooltip. Super clean. Super clean tooltip. But if not, I did use a couple of them. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember using Tiny Tip. Well, there's a couple other tooltip ones I looked at. I really need to commit to getting Jeeves. I'm slacking. Tiny tooltip. I'm gonna assume Mask got updated. That thing, Mask is too popular to not get updated. Yeah, updated 2 days ago. Apathy, which is the skin I use, was updated as well. We looked at Narcissus, Palm, got it. Oh, shadowed unit frames. Yeah, this one. Two hours ago. Woo! Okay. That is very good. These are the unit frames I like to use. Shadowed unit frames. They're very nice. I use them for everything except for my character. Because my character, I build the unit frame with the WeakAuras. Or if I'm too lazy to do that, I'll use this. Or I think actually it's a mix. For my character, I do a mix of some parts from shadowed unit frames and then some parts I use WeakAuras for. But I use WeakAuras, or sorry, shadowed unit frames for like the enemies, my party members, all that kind of stuff. I try to keep one of each class at max level, but I suck at playing some alts. So I tried Hekili, and it's great. So Hekili is the rotation helper, right? Priority helper. So I actually am going to be making something similar to this that runs through WeakAuras. That I will be using on my characters that is going to be specific to the builds that I create. So I have looked at this before. Okay, we're not doing the sprinkler music. We're not doing that. I wonder if this would make it easier. I haven't looked into using this to make my own versions. Maybe I should, because I do this with WeakAuras. I was trying to figure out, so I'll show you. I'll pull up an example. Hey, look, we're live. So if you guys want to look at this a little bit more in detail, if you go to the channel, you go to videos, and what we actually want is not live now. We want past live streams, because I did this on a live stream, and it was... Let's see if I can figure out which one it was. I think it was this one here. I think it was this one, Shadowlands Leveling Marathon, which we'll do some of these for Dragonflight for sure. Let me go ahead and mute me. I feel like Asmongold right now. Reacting to my own thing. Yeah, so this right here, around the 47-minute mark, I think, I am kind of working on the WeakAuras for this. And then I take it out and test it, I believe. This was a fun stream. This is a very nerdy stream. Alright, let me see if I can... Okay. So... with this one, when I get in combat, it'll start. It should pop up. All right, bro. Like, what are you doing? Stop running around and fight stuff. Why are you just casually running around? Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. So right here, if you look, as soon as I get in combat, it's going to pop up with a list here. And basically what this does is priority left to right what abilities I need to cast. So on this Shaman, it's telling me, hey, I need Wind Fury Totem because I want to have that buff up for the first fight. So I'll cast Wind Fury Totem. And then it's saying to go ahead and cast, you know, Lightning Bolt. Flame Shock. And I was working on this. I think this is in progress. So some abilities hadn't been like worked into this yet, like Storm Strike and things like that. But you'll see. I'll cast my totem, Storm Strike comes up, I hit Storm Strike, I got a proc to be able to cast Storm Strike again, so it came back to the front of the rotation, and then at this point, you know, I cast my stuff and it's saying, hey, cast Lightning Bolt, and that's most likely because I have enough stacks of Wind Fury Weapon to get it cast for free, so I hit Lightning Bolt, and it's like, okay, hey, you shift targets, this guy needs Flame Shock on him. Or before, it wasn't up there because Flame Shock was on cooldown. Well, this is all using like logic through WeakAuras. So Crash Lightning, Storm Strike, Lightning Bolts. Right? Out of combat, goes away. And we move to like the next target. Get back into combat, maybe. But yeah, so this is done. I code this specifically for the build that I'm using. So what I'm going to be doing with my guides for Dragonflight is I'm going to be putting together a talent build on here. So let's say like we'll go, I don't know, Arcane Mage. I'll put a talent build together. And then along with the talent build, I'm going to have a reference sheet, like a quick cheat sheet, so you don't have to rewatch the video over and over and over again, because I don't have any monetization, so I won't get any views or anything like money from views. And I want you guys to be able to reference like the notes quickly. And then I'll be working on building those WeakAuras rotation helpers that are specific to my build and the way that it's intended to be played. So I have a lot of fun doing this. It's a lot of work, but I really enjoy doing it. The game's working now? Sweet. So we will try to get on in just a second. I'm going to catch up on chat real quick. I've seen a new WeakAuras video and they look similar to Heckley now. Haven't tried using WeakAuras since like Wrath. Yeah, and the other thing is like you'll be able to just import the WeakAuras. So I'm in, or at least at the character select screen. Okay. Good evening. All right. Well, let's see if we can get in. Why did I make that big? I didn't want to make that big. Let's go off beta. Let's go World of Warcraft. Play. It's working? Cool. Well, we're going. We're going in. All right, we are going to load our broken add-ons anyway. Sweet. So, hey, check this out, you guys. I posted I think I posted a community thing. And we'll get in here real quick. Just kind of mentally prepping. Let me see here. Oh, no, I didn't. I think I posted it in Discord. But as of a week and a half ago, I had a max level warrior, I had a max level warlock, and that was it. So now I've got the hunter, druid, monk, paladin, demon hunter, rogue, shaman, death knight. All I got left is priest and mage. And my one of every class to 60 before Dragonflight so that I can make guides and content is good to go. So big shout outs to Sunny and MB and Wolf. who have been helping me to level up and progress on these characters, just making it easy by having company and, you know, someone else to do stuff with. All right, let's go. We are going in. All right, so if you guys kind of want to follow along with this, you're welcome to. I'm gonna have an import code when we're done here in case you want to use the exact layout that I have. I may click my camera on and off to kind of show stuff down there if I can. We'll see if a bunch of stuff is broken. Froze that, or it's taking forever. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Good luck to everyone on trying to get this going. Okay, so actually I am going to disable all my add-ons. Let's just go ahead and disable all the add-ons. Reload. That way we can have nothing interfering with the UI. Okay. So first off, we've got the starter build. I'm going to go ahead and plug in my Protection Warrior leveling builds real quick. And I think I'm going to take this one. And then we're going to go here, 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 and here. All right, then on the protection side, we're going to go here. Go for Rend. Shield wall into Massacre. I go here. Into here. And then we can put 1 point into Thunderlord or Tough as Nails. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go for Thunderlord. We're going to go Booming Voice, Ravager, and Storm of Steel. So this is the build up. Like I said, I have a build pretty much for every specialization. It's just I wanted to vet them more before I shared them with you guys. But this is my build for Protection Warrior. So we're going to have that set up. And the reason I want this set up is because I want to be able to put the abilities on my UI. So I'm going to clear out my action bars. So we're going to go into options. We're going to go to interface. And we're going to go here. I believe, is this where do they have the personal resource bar now? I want to turn the personal resource bar. Oh, we can search now. Personal resource display is under combat. So I'm going to make sure this is turned off. So if this is on, what it's going to do is it's going to put a little health and rage bar right here underneath my character, and I don't want that, okay? So we're gonna go in, personal resource display. I will check in with chat periodically, but I'm gonna be like fairly focused on doing this in between. So you guys dump all your questions and everything in there, and I will catch up to them. So we're gonna go to action bars, okay? And what we want is we want 4 action bars really is all we need. So we're gonna have the main action bar, which we can't disable. Okay, then we're gonna want 2, 3, and 4. Okay, we're just gonna use these. It doesn't matter where they are or what they're shaped like or anything like that. We're also gonna unlock the action bars so that we can move stuff around. Okay, so that's really all I think we need to do right now. Nice to have some company. This new UI is something else. When you see it live on your own tune, absolutely. Still loading, restart. You can. It doesn't seem like there's a queue or anything like that. I like the new UI, a lot cleaner than it used to be. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, so here's the thing. We're gonna go here. So this is also supposed to be a Keybinds video. So what I'm gonna do is actually reset all my Keybinds so that we can update this as well. So I'm going to clear out my action bars. Just take everything off. And I'm going to reset my Keybinds. All right. So Keybinds, defaults, these settings. Okay. So now I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all the way to 11 here. I'm going to have walk as W. I'm going to have turn my camera is A, D, yada, yada, yada. So the first change I'm going to make real quick is I'm going to go into keybinds. I'm going to go to movement keys. Now I'm going to change my strafe left to A and my strafe right to D. All right. So now that's going to let me strafe. Okay. And then for me, you don't have to do this. I do this. I change my move forward to W and my move back to shift W. Okay. So the reason I do this is all my movement keys are now in a row. And if I really need to like scooch back, I can do that with shift and the S key. But most cases, instead of scooching back, you can just as easily turn your camera and strafe in that direction. So instead of trying to do this, I'll normally be like this and I'll just go and move out of the way, right? Or I'll strafe to the side or whatever, right? So that's why I keep the move back there in case I need it. The one thing with the shift S, if it's really important, is you cannot jump backwards. You can't hit the jump key. So if you feel like jumping is necessary, if you do a lot of PvP, then maybe don't set it up that way. But that's how I do it. You don't have to do it that way at all. Okay. So that's mostly what I change on the movement keys. All right. And I just wanted to do that because otherwise I'm going to be running around super awkward. Like, what the hell am I doing? And since this is supposed to go over keybinds, I wanted to touch on that. Okay, so when we get into edit mode, let's see. Is there a place to get people's already made UIs? I'm sure there will be. I'm going to have an import guide or an import code that once we get this set up, I'm going to paste it straight in the chat. I'll have it in the description as well, and you guys will be able to access it. And I'll also have it posted up somewhere on the Discord. Wait, can I not use my 36 slot engineering toolbox in that reagent bag slot? I thought that was what it was for. Should be able to. I'll have to check that in a bit. Okay, so we're gonna go into edit mode. All right, and this is gonna give you a little tutorial. That's fine. So, we're gonna move stuff out of the way. We're just gonna pull it up out of the way. And we're gonna focus on action bar 1. Now, action bar 1, you wanna keep this as your main action bar. You could obviously pull this one down here and do whatever you want with it. The reason that I say you wanna keep this as your main action bar is because if you transform or you're in a vehicle or you're doing a quest and they put you on a giant and that giant has 3 abilities or whatever, those abilities are going to default to this bar and they're going to default to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 slot, right? So generally speaking, you want to keep this as your main bar. Okay. Also, you'll notice we can't move the XP. That's a little annoying. Let us move the XP. What the hell? Anyway, so we're going to keep this as our main action bar. Okay. And we're going to make some changes to it though. So before we get started on that, we're going to come up here to HUD edit mode and hit the grid. So this is going to give us a grid that we can play with. And we're actually going to tune the grid spacing down so we can be a little bit more accurate. We'll use like a 50 grid, you know, something roughly like that. All right, so with this action bar 1, what we're going to do is turn this into a row of 2 bars. So we're going to make 2 rows. And we want to keep them this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, minus 11. 11 equals, wow, I'm reading sideways. Okay. We can keep the number of icons at 12. That's perfectly fine. I've found that on some classes I don't need all 12, and on other classes I do need all 12. So it just depends on the class. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna line this up. I'm gonna line this up way down here towards the bottom of the screen. And the reason for that is I'm going to want to use this space in between for different things. Now, you can move this up. Part of my reason for putting it down this low is because I'm going to have stuff stacked up here, including that rotation helper for WeakAuras that I just talked about. So I want to make sure I have room for everything, because when I play, so I'm just gonna name this Tsetzuko default. All right, so when I play, I'm basically gonna be looking a lot at this area right below my character. That's a really easy area to kind of check and look for stuff, okay? So let's go back into edit mode. And so we're gonna go back to action bar 1, and we're gonna do a couple of things here. So, first off, we're going to hide the bar art. That's going to get rid of the griffins. We're also going to hide the bar scrolling. We shouldn't need the alternate action bar. You can still get to it to the hotkeys if you want to. I'm going to leave the bars, the icons here at 100%. All right. So when everything is said and done, this is what our main action bar is going to be. Just a stack of 2 buttons, or a double stack of buttons here in the center of the screen, right above the XP bar. Okay. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to set up our additional action bar spaces. So we're going to take bar 2, and bar 2 we're going to turn into 2 rows. We're going to leave 12 icons on it. But what we're going to do is I'm going to shrink the size down to about 80%. Now you can definitely change this if you want. And we're just going to kind of center this up with, I think it's, do we have a, okay, we do have a snap. I'm going to take the snap off so I can position this the way I want it. Or, you know what? Or we could use the snap. I think using the snap's okay. Right? Because then we can just snap it into place right there. So we're going to take this down to 80%. And that's really all we need to do for this one for right now. So at this point, we've got our main action bar, and we've got an additional sidebar over here with a bunch of icons. On this side, some classes you'll need all these, some classes you won't. Okay. Go back in, we're going to grab action bar 3. And action bar 3, we're going to do the same thing we did over here, but we're actually going to make 3 rows. And then we're going to take the icon size down to 80%. And then we're just going to snap this one in over here. All right. So I know it looks a little weird. I think we're going to adjust the alignment a little bit. We're going to pull this one up to snap up top like that. Right? And there's actually, nope. That's right. We're going to snap this one down because we're going to put something above it. Okay. All right. So we'll snap that down there. And these are going to be the different sections that we're going to use. And this is going to make sense when we get into the abilities. All right. And then for our last action bar, we're going to grab action bar 4 over here. We're going to give it 2 columns. And we generally won't need the full 12 buttons, so you can take it down to like 8. And then also we can take the icon size down to 80. You can take it down to 70. This is where we're going to put stuff that we're not using in combat. How do you edit the action bars? So you just, when you're in edit mode, you click on them and you use the action bar window here. Okay? This thing. This is how you edit them. If that answers your question, cool. If not, ask me another one and I'll help you out. Okay. So I'm going to click off my webcam real quick. So we're going to take this, and what we want to do is we want to save. I want to open up our backpack. Okay. Let's do B. Open up our backpack. I'm going to default to the one bag, convert to combined bag. Okay. So we kind of have an idea where this is going to be. It's going to cover up this action bar over here, which is totally fine, which means we can really put it wherever we want. All right, so if you guys weren't tracking on that, if you click for bag settings, and you can go down, convert to separate bags, or you can click here and go to convert to combined bag. I'm going to use the combined bag for now. That's what I'll have eventually. We can't move this. I will probably scooch it over once I have a bag add-on that I'm going to use. All right. So let's go back in, and we're going to pull this action bar over, and we're just going to line it up somewhere over here. Okay. And then we're going to save. So this is going to be our action bars. Okay. Those are all set up, good to go. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our stance bar, and we're going to move this. We're going to make it 2 rows because why not? And we're just going to place that above this bar here. Now, pretty much you're never going to have 8 different stances. So what this is going to look like is it's just going to, I don't know why it does that. Why it puts them in the middle. Horizontal. It did that to me on the beta as well. But anyway, our stances are going to be right here above this bar. So we can change stances if we want to. Right? That'll be where your druid stances are. If that's not a convenient location for you, then obviously you can go in and move them. But that's where I'm going to put them. We're going to take our pet bar. And we're going to move our pet bar. And I'm going to reduce the icon size just a little bit. And we're just going to stack the pet bar right here above the main bar. All right, so if you have a pet, your pet buttons will be right here as well. And we're trying to keep everything for our action bars kind of condensed into this area here, so that we have this area up here for some other features. Okay. Check your messages. Okay. Gotta answer the wife. All right, anybody have any questions so far on what we're doing? Or anybody have any questions about what they're trying to do for their UI right now? If you have any, put them in the chat and I will address them as I can. Okay. So we got our pet bar, we got our stance bar, all that's good. The next thing we're gonna do is start setting up our unit frames. Okay, so we're gonna take our player frame and we're gonna set it underneath our character. Okay, and we're gonna check cast bar underneath, and we're gonna save this. So now we're gonna have our player health, our resources, and everything right here underneath our character. I can summon a mount to show you what the cast bar is going to look like. So let me go ahead and do that. So if you look right underneath, you got the cast bar. All right, so we can dismount. So that's what the cast bar is going to look like. So then we're tracking right under there what our health and stuff looks like. All right, so coming back into edit mode. The next thing we want to do is adjust our target and focus. Now this is entirely up to you whether you want it to be like right next to your player frame or whatever. I kind of like to put it right out here to the side so that I can kind of focus and just look over here and see kind of what's going on with my target. And then target of target. So we're going to save that. So if I click on somebody, they're going to pop up right there. So I've got Uther. I know who I'm fighting. And I'm good to go. Cool. Makes sense. And then if I target myself, you know, that's all there too. So again, once you get the import code for this, you can make some minor adjustments if you want. I think I might actually go a little further out right there, just so I have a little more room to click next to my character there. That's okay for me. All right. Then we're going to have our buff frame. So this is for us. So this is normally up here. I like to pull this down and have it next to my character's health bar here. What we're going to do is we're going to take the size down a little bit so it doesn't take up so much room. We're going to flip it to vertical. Sorry, not vertical. We want it horizontal, but we want the wrap direction to be up. Okay. And then we're going to stick it right there. Generally, your buffs are not going to go higher than one row unless you're like in a raid or a party with just a ton of stuff going on. So having the one row right there is totally fine. Okay. And then we're going to take the debuff frame, which is here, and we're going to put it same kind of place. We're going to reduce the icons down. We're just going to kind of line it up. I don't want the snap on for this one though, because we want to put a little bit of a gap in between. And then we're going to leave that the way it is. Okay. So we'll save that. We'll go back to the snap. So now you can see your buffs are going to be right next to your character portrait. And this is going to let you keep track of all that. If I cast Battle Shout, you'll see Battle Shout into the fray. I've got these different buffs going on here. So they're all right there. Nice and neat, so that if you're in combat and let's say you get a proc for something that's in the form of a buff, you can see it right here. This is all about keeping your eyes kind of tuned to this general triangle when it comes to player information. And then right over here, you'll have like enemy information. And on the other side, we'll have our party stuff. All right. So cast bar, we don't need to worry about because our cast bar is underneath our portrait frame. Okay. Our party frames, this is kind of up to you. Okay. I'm going to set it up a particular way that I like to have it. And if you want to make an adjustment after you get the code, feel free. What I like to do is I want to take the talking head, you know, the one that pops up and says stuff all the time. And you can I'll either put it directly at the top like that, or I'll put it off over here on the corner. I'm going to put it off over here on the corner because I don't like when the talking head gets in the way of everything that I'm doing. And I want the talking head just up here. I can just glance up there and, you know, read the content if I really want to, or it'll pop up there and I can just ignore it, right? So with that in mind, I take the party frames, and the party frames, I tend to keep them about where they normally are. But what I want to do is just bring them down a little bit to make sure that the talking head won't cover up the party frames. Okay. If you want to, you can switch to the raid style frames if you like that. I'm going to leave them like this because ultimately I'm going to end up replacing these myself with the shadowed unit frames. So for the UI I'm giving to people, that's what that'll look like. Okay. So party frames will be right there. Raid frames, we'll just bring those down. And let's say 40-man raid. If you happen to be in one, then great. Again, your buffs are probably not going to get this high, so it's okay for a little bit of overlap. If we want them that way, but typically you're going to be in like a 25-man or you'll be in a 10-man. And at that point, like, this is totally fine as far as size go. I'm going to leave it at 25-man, just to have it taking up what I would consider probably like, you know, if you're in a world quest or something like that, you probably have a 25-man going. So we'll leave it like that. Your boss frames, these are like the ones that you're going to have when you're in a raid. And your boss frames, I typically just drop them like underneath in this area. It's up to you. Again, you can move it around. Boss frames is something I really don't find that I deal with very like often enough to get really into the placement of them. So we're just going to put them there. How do I use the preset action bars, like where my abilities are? What do you mean, how do you use them? Are they not, if they're not showing up for you, if a lot of them are turned off initially, so you want to go to options, action bars, and turn them on. Okay. If that's what you mean, that's what you do there. Okay, the HUD tooltip. So this is the actual tooltip for when you're hovering over stuff. So just to show you an example. Oh, okay, okay, cool, we got it. If I hover over this guy, you see where the tooltip is. Let me get my webcam out the way. All right, you see the tooltip is down there. Since we have our bags down here, and we also have our action bar down here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into edit. We're gonna go to the tooltip, and we're just gonna move this so the tooltip is out of the way. You can put it right here. You know, you can put it down here. Just somewhere where it's not overlapping this bar and where it's not overlapping the bag stuff. So I'm just going to put it right there. So it's not really all that different from where it normally is. Right? So I can hover over whoever, whatever. And I feel like there's like nothing going on here. Let's go up. We got more stuff to hover over here. Right? Now I'm going to end up using a tooltip add-on, I think, because I like to have the tooltip at my cursor. And this won't let me do that. But the tooltip, you can really just move kind of wherever you want, wherever you like. I don't have to buy anything yet, do I? No, you don't. As of right now, everything is included that's currently out is included in your subscriptions. Counting Shadowlands. Shadowlands is now included in the subscription, so you don't have to buy anything at all right now. My resolution is 1920 by 1080. Okay, so what I'm going to do with the quest, I'm just going to put them up here next to my map and hopefully manage them. You're going to see the overlap here with the target of targets and the boss frames. Typically, this should not be an issue. If you want target of targets, then you can, I believe, let me see. Okay, the focus frame here, you can move this. So if you want, actually, we'll go ahead and move it. We'll put it there. Because you're going to see this happen a lot more than you'll see the quest log overlap the boss frames. All right, so we'll do that. So now we got our target there. Can I find anyone who has a target of target? I don't know, maybe not. All right, but our target of target will be right underneath there. We'll get our quest log right here. I'm going to leave the mini map where it is. I like to keep it in that spot, not get too crazy with anything. Our vehicle exit button, we're just going to set this up here next to this action bar. So if we get into a vehicle, we'll have the exit button available to us when that happens, and it'll be right here by the rest of our action bars. Arena frames, we'll leave them where they're at. Okay, arena frames, that's totally up to you what you want to do. They fit in pretty nicely with the layout we have already, so I'm totally cool with that. The possess bar, again, this is something that's not going to come up super often. Oh, we can just pop it up there. Extra abilities. Again, this is one that... no. Exit. If you mess something up, just go back to exit. And it should keep it for you. All right, so there's our exit button. Extra abilities. All right, let's move our possess bar. The extra abilities, I haven't actually figured out what this is for. So I'm actually just going to make a little tweak and move my chat over, and I'm just going to throw these up here. I don't know why my raid frames moved. I'm going to throw these up here until I figure that out. Also, is it just me or did my tooltip move as well? Oh, this is the... What? What? This is the tooltip. Okay, so it just put my tooltip in a weird spot. Okay, let's save that. Let's go to... Okay, here's the extra abilities. I'm going to throw these up here until I figure out what they do. Because I haven't yet encountered a situation where they've come up. Same thing here, encounter bar. Let's go ahead and we're going to... can I hide my action? Cast bar we don't need. Encounter bar. I'm gonna have to move my action bar. That's really annoying. Okay. Encounter bar, we'll hover that over here. Again, these, I need to see the specific like use case for them because I don't know specifically what goes in here. So for right now, we're just going to snap them in there. And then we need to go to loot window, customize the loot window layout, disable the open loot window at mouse. I'm totally fine with the window at mouse, so I'm not going to worry about this. Okay, so when everything is said and done, this is what the layout is going to look like. We can go get into combat somewhere, potentially. I'll get on go to a zone real quick, and we can go just fight something. Let me go ahead and get a mount so we don't have to go so slow. And I'll just kind of show you what the layout's going to look like, you know, in like a typical like questing scenario. And again, you can use the options to make like your own tweaks and adjustments. Let's see, does any place have like anything we want to work on? There's a 213 helmet. No thanks. We'll just go over it. We'll go to Turnival. Okay. Any questions so far? Any questions about anything so far? Now, what we are going to do, this is entirely up to you. Again, you can, are your action buttons set? You mean like my keybinds and stuff yet? Not yet. Do that next, if that's what you mean. All right, so what we're going to do here is make a couple of adjustments. So we're going to take action bar 2. And for right now, I'm going to leave always show buttons until I show you guys how I'm setting up the action bar. But we're eventually going to take this away. And what that's going to do is if there aren't any abilities on here, it won't show them. If we put an ability on here, it will show it. Okay, so this is a way you can kind of get rid of some of the action bar clutter if you're not using it. Okay. Now, the other thing that we're going to do for these kinds of abilities, and you can tweak this yourself as well, is under bar visible. For these extra bars and stuff, we're going to change whether they're visible in combat, out of combat, or whether they're just hidden. All right, so we'll get into that in just a bit. But for this one, we're going to go ahead and always show buttons. Save and exit. All right, so let's just go real quick, and we'll find something to start smacking me. I'm a prop warrior, so I'll be okay. Oh, are you gonna target someone? Can we see our target to target? No, you're not gonna target anything? Fine. Oh, you know what? I might not have target of target on. Let's see. I don't think I don't have target of target on. So if I target myself, okay, it's not going to do it. Yeah, I don't have it on. That's why it's not. showing. Okay. Anyway, let's go get smacked by some stuff so you guys can see this. All right, we'll just come down here. Hello. All right, so I mean, this is pretty much it for combat. So let me get off of the mount here. Okay. So nothing too fancy. On your average quest and everything, you're not going to have a whole ton of stuff around your character. You got your HP bar and stuff good to go right here. I got a random group of enemies attacking me. You're going to have your main enemy here. You can, like, for example, set this as a focus. All right, and then your focus target will be down here. So all that stuff is... These things are going to kill themselves by attacking me. That's wonderful. So this stuff is going to be right here for you. Right, and all your action bar stuff will be down here, and we're going to hotkey the majority of this too. And then over here behind me, we've got our little side one here. Our tooltips are nice and out of the way. And then we have also our bag. This bag is huge. Finally on round 50, remember to click like. I can't get on my character in Stormwind. Keep saying world server is down. I will not leave my zone then, just in case it boots me. All right. So then here we got our loot window at mouse. That's totally fine. Again, in the settings, you could turn that off if you want to. All right. Why? Where did you come from? And why did you have to show up? Oh, this is proof that my open world questing and leveling build for Prot Warrior works. You don't even have to cast abilities, and you you kill stuff pretty quickly. Look, this is ridiculous. So they're getting hit by deep wounds, right? And they're also getting hit by the tough as nails. Wow. All right, proof that the build works. Okay, so let's get back into town. And I'll start talking about how I'm going to set up the action bars and the keybinds. If you can't get in, keep trying. Keep trying. I'm going to show you guys a super cool feature. And again, why I'm keeping this amount of space here, if we go into the edit mode, is because I want to be able to put my WeakAuras rotation helper like right here in the middle. So that I can follow along with that, which we may be able to bring the health bar down just a little bit. I think we probably can. But I want to make sure... You generally don't have a million debuffs either, so you're not really going to have... What we can do here is actually limit the amount if we wanted to, but I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I think I will move this down maybe to right here. Let's turn on our snap again, just to make sure we get a nice snappy little centerage. And then we're going to go ahead and readjust these as well. I actually don't want to snap that. It was a little high for my taste. I like it to be a little bit under. And we'll do debuffs right there. All right, so we'll save. So yeah, we went a little bit lower on this, which I think is fine. Really like the feel of the UI. The new one, the default one, or the one I'm making, or both. I like the feel of just what they've done with the UI in general. I like, for sure. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys I think this feature it's new, it's awesome in my opinion. I think it's super cool. If you go to edit mode, okay, you click on an action bar, And then you have this option here, quick keybind mode. Okay. If you hit quick keybind mode, then what you can do is mouse over a button and press the desired key to set the binding for that button. So you can actually just hover over and change all your keybinds. Chicken, Hanguk Male. Gotcha. So I'm going to set these up according to my keybinds. You guys can set this up the way you want it. The logic is still going to follow through, I think, for you. It'll be absolutely fine. So I actually don't do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, blah, blah, blah. So what I do is I do Q, W, E, R, F. Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for these bars here, I do 6 and 7. Okay. Then over here, what I'm going to do is Shift Q, Control Q. I'm going to do Shift E, Control E. Over here, we're going to go Shift R, Control R. Here, down at the bottom, we're going to do Shift F, Control F. And then these middle keys here, it's kind of whatever we want them to be. I haven't really figured out what I want these to be yet. You know, it might be like 8, 9, 10. I don't know. So that's how I'm going to set up my keybinds. Okay, so basically anything that currently has a keybind on it is something that I'm gonna hit the hotkey for. Anything that doesn't have a keybind is something that I'm gonna click for. So basically what this is it's like three abilities deep. Okay, is everybody following with that so far? If you hit 40, does that unlock the next spam bot? I don't know. I haven't seen one yet, unless you've been snatching them up. I'm not sure if you have been or not. Oh, yeah, you have been. I haven't been looking at that chat, so I didn't notice. Okay. So what I'm going to do to explain the logic behind the keybinds here is I'm going to map this out with a single ability in the relevant areas. Okay. So Q, again, like I said, my movement is ASD. Okay. I basically use forward and I use strafe. If I really need to go backwards, I got my Shift S, or I can just strafe. And if I want to go backwards, I just strafe and go backwards, right? So right above that, I have Q, W, E, R, all accessible and usable. I've got F right next to D, super accessible and usable. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all within reach, really usable as well, right? The other stuff is kind of a stretch. So what I do is for Q, I put my go-to healing ability that I want to use more than any other, like healing, defensive, sustain ability, period. Right? So for my warrior, that's going to be impending victory. Like if I need a heal, I'm hitting impending victory. That is the main ability that I'm going to use like every single enemy pretty much. So that goes here. Now, this to me, Q represents defensive abilities. If no matter what character I'm on, if I hit Q, that's my like big heal myself up kind of thing. And so what I do from there is I take the additional defensive abilities and tie them to Q. So this is what I'm going to do for you guys, just so you can kind of see the layout, is I'm going to copy this one ability so you can see the threads of how this action bar is set up. So Q is my main defensive ability. Shift Q is going to be the second ability that I want to hit if I need defense. Control Q is going to be that third ability. So I go 3 abilities deep with hotkeys. And then beyond that, it's going to be something that I'll click, right? Maybe it's a 5-minute cooldown or something like that. So Q and its associated modification hotkeys, that's all tied to defense. This top row over here, all defensive cooldowns. Okay. E is offensive. So E is going to be the ability that I'm casting all the time related to my rotation. So typically for protection, what I'm going to put there is revenge. Okay. This isn't a cooldown ability necessarily, or if it is, it's very short. We're talking like 12 seconds max. Okay. So E is going to be that offensive ability. And then Shift E and this entire row are offensive abilities. So I go three deep on the hotkeys, and then the rest is going to be clickable. Okay. Is that making sense? Is this method of showing you the layout, is it working? Hopefully, I was hoping this would work this way for you guys. Okay, so the next thing here are simplifies everything. I'm going to use that. Cool, awesome. So the next thing is R. R is going to be my movement ability. Movement ability. So this is going to include things like charge. This is going to include speed buffs. I'll also include pulls like the Death Knight Death Grip. Anything that helps me get from point A to point B faster, or lets me pull an enemy from point B to me faster, is going to go in R. Okay, so for warrior, it's going to be charge, but then like my secondary would be heroic leap. Okay, but for the sake of consistency here, I'm going to show you this next row here is going to be all more mobility and just connection between me and the enemy, or me and the place that I'm trying to go. Now, the reason this is only 4 is because you generally don't have a ton of these. Some classes you will, like Monk has a lot of them. But for the most part, you can usually fit all those abilities within 5 abilities. Okay, so that's why this is a shorter row. Whereas you might have, like, you may have the full 7 defensive cooldown abilities, and you may even have more than that, depending on the class. So you want as many of these extra buttons over here as you can get. Okay, F is where I put my crowd control. And on almost every single character, F is going to be my interrupt. Okay, so pummel. Like, if I need to stop that spell from casting, F. That's the hotkey that I'm hitting. Okay, and then that follows through over here, where F, this whole line is going to be additional crowd control abilities. So we're talking stuns, we're talking slows, we're talking incapacitates, anything like that is going to go in this particular row. Now, what that does is this gives me access to 3 defensive abilities, 3 offensive abilities, 3 movement abilities, and 3 different CCs, all within those 4 buttons right above my movement keys. Okay. Then from there, I'm going to add in my main rotation that I play with. Okay. So W is going to be that ability that I hit all the time. It's your spam filler ability, right? This is the one that with that press to cast thing they just added in, this would be the one that you just hold down the button to cast it over and over again. If you're on a fire mage, it's fireball. If you're on a frost mage, it's frostbolt. It's that ability. So for me on protection warrior, that ability, what is that ability? Shield slam? I think it's shield slam. I'm kind of blanking here. We're going to say it's shield slam. Yeah, it's shield slam. Okay. Yes. 100%. I just had a moment there. So shield slam is going to be that spammable ability that I use all the time. It does have a cooldown, but this build is centered around it being, off of like resetting the cooldown over and over again. So I just get to press it a bunch of times. So that's shield slam. Okay. Then the rest of my main ability, which would include things like or my main rotation, which would include things like Thunderclap, is going to go all in this area. Usually it's going to be 1 through 5. Got similar key binding logic here. Great to hear you clarify it. Yeah. So this would be the rest of that main rotation. So basically, when I'm playing, I'm spamming W, right? I'm just sitting in front of the enemy and I'm just spamming W, spamming W, spamming W. And I can use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the rest of my abilities. And in most cases, what I've found in most classes is that 1 through 5 plus your spam ability and your 1 regular offense, these 7 abilities, is enough to cover your entire rotation that you use on every single enemy over and over and over and over again, and you're totally fine. Okay? 6 and 7 I use for utility abilities that I might want to have hotkeyed. Okay, so let's say heroic. Well, maybe not heroic throw. That would be on this line. Let's try. It could literally be anything that you want to have on a hotkey that isn't on a hotkey. Like, so let's say you had two movement abilities here and you had a third one and you're like, actually, I use that one all the time. You could put it on 6 or 7. So this is kind of a miscellaneous spot. So in this case, I'm going to use taunt to kind of fill that in, just so you can see the logic here. So all of this is just going to be the other abilities that don't fit in a category or are overflow from a different category that you want to include on your action bars. Okay. And then I'm going to hide my UI or my camera here. And then the final, this action bar over here is 2 things. So first off, I take a mount or my favorite mount or whatever, and I put it right here in this top one. And then if we go into our edit mode, we click on this, we're going to go to quick keybind mode. I put this on T. Okay. So now I'm working with ASD for movement, QWERF for these hotkeys here, 1 through 5 for the rest of my rotation, and then I've got 6 and 7 as some extras I can hit, and then right past R on T, I've got my mount key. Right? So if I'm running around, you know, flying around, all I got to do to mount up is I hit T. And I'm good to go. The rest of what goes over here is stuff that I don't need to use in combat, but I want access to. For example, Battle Shout is a buff that lasts 1 hour. Okay, I want to have it out here so I can remember that it's there and I have it and I can use it, but it doesn't need to be over here taking up space. Right? So this whole section over here is just going to be, you could put your professions here. You could use a spot to put an item you need to use for a little period of time. You can put your buffs. You can put your out of combat resurrections. You can put like a racial ability that doesn't have anything to do with combat. Whatever you want, you can put in that area. So this is the logic behind how I set up my keybinds. Now I also use an add-on called OPI for my keybinds, and I'll actually go in and enable this for you just so you can see. Now OPI takes a lot of getting used to. I don't really recommend it. I use it because it really helps with my carpal tunnel and the nerve issues I have in my hands. But what you're going to see is this radial menu that pops up is OPI. And it's the same kind of logic that I use down here. My W key is my core rotation. So all my core rotation abilities are in there. I'm going to get errors because it's not updated. My Q is going to be my defensive abilities. So I've got stuff in here like Demoralizing Shout, Last Stand, Shield Wall, Ignore Pain. My E is going to be my offensive abilities, like Ravager. R is going to be those movement abilities, like Charge, Heroic Leap, Heroic Throw, my Door of Shadows. F is going to be CC, so I've got Pummel, I've got Hamstring, I've got Taunt in there as well. And then I have T is where my mount is, but it's also where I put some of those abilities that are over on that other bar. So the logic that I developed for setting up Opie helped me develop the logic for these action bars down here as well. Does that make sense? Okay, let's take a pause and see if anybody has any questions about the UI setup or the keybind logic or anything like that. At this point, I'm at a place where I'm ready to drop an import code for you guys on this UI. I don't think it's going to copy my keybinds or like the spells or anything like that. It should just copy the actual layout of the UI. So if you guys have any questions or concerns or anything before I do that, this is a great time to voice those. I see like a lot of people are watching. So I'm super friendly. If you're new here, I'm super friendly. You can ask whatever question. There's no dumb question, okay? So let me know. I'll give it a couple, like a minute or so here, and then I'm just gonna grab the export code here, and I'll paste it in so you guys will be able to import this if you want. And this is the UI that I'm going to be using for my guides. Okay, so when I'm making guides, this will be the UI that I use it for. I don't know why I just lost an action bar, but I did for some reason. You know, there's bugs, right? There's bugs. You mentioned your movement keybinds. What are those again? Okay, so options, keybinds. The only thing I change is I change strafe left and right to A and D, right? Because I want to be able to strafe, not turn the camera. And then my move forward is S. I don't know why it says up arrow here. It's S. And move backwards is Shift S. This is super uncomfortable until you get used to it. Okay, and once you get used to it, it doesn't even really bother you. I actually got the idea from watching some other keybind videos and stuff, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like that. And then I started trying it, and like, it's just not a big deal. You know, if I'm like, oh crap, I ran past this quest giver, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll either just turn around or, you know, I'll go, oh, there I am. I'm back at the front. Oh, I'll just jump. You know, I'll just strafe over instead of oops. It just turns into oops. So you got to get used to it. But once you do, it frees up a key above all your movement keys that you can use as a hotkey. Give it a try. Yeah, if you hate it, cool. Like I mentioned before, the one thing that is not great about it is if you are backing up with Shift S, you cannot jump. Okay, so if jumping backwards is super important to you, maybe for like PvP or something where you want to move backwards, but you also want to be able to jump to make yourself, you know, harder to target, then you may not want to use that. But anything like PvE related, not a big deal. So you can give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, all you have to do is instead of W, here you can make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or whatever up here. You can just change this hotkey to be the start of your rotation. Like what I would do is, you know, make this whatever button you spam the most, you know, for that ability. This new built-in bars, what about Hunter's Pet bars? Are you going to put or just blend in main bars? So I have those set up. So pet bars are right there. You see the blink I've just got it right above the main action bar and kind of scaled down so it won't be too big. And again, with any of this stuff, you can move it around, you can make it bigger. I'm just trying to give you a baseline framework of what I think is a decent UI setup with the new system, and the one that I'm going to use for my guides, so that if you do want to follow along with my guides like to the letter, you can use this. But as long as you've watched this video and you understand the logic of where things are and why they're being placed there, then you'll be able to follow along with the logic for the guides as well. Okay, it won't be that big of a deal for you to transition. You know, if you know, like, okay, this is where my defensive ability goes and this is where the rest of them go, you can make tweaks and stuff as you need to. Hi, Tender. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to share. Copy to clipboard. And I'm going to paste this in. You know, that's a long, weird code. I'm going to make sure the whole thing actually pasted in there. It did. Oh, okay, so I can't paste this into the chat. So give me 1 second here, and I'm gonna get this into a Google Doc for you guys, and I'll paste the link to that, because the actual import code is like 1,300 characters long. That's kind of insane. All right, so public access. Gonna make a UI folder here. I'm gonna make a new doc. This is gonna be, this will be Tsetzuko default UI import code. Now, I don't know for sure whether or not, you know, this is going to work beautifully or not. You know, I don't know what's going to happen. So if anybody wants to try it and let me know if it's like doesn't work, I can figure out whether it has to do, maybe figure out whether it has to do with me or whether it has to do with Blizzard. Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna paste the link. If anybody is willing to just test the import and let me know if it's good, I would really, really appreciate it. It should, if you're in edit mode, it should look like what I have up now. And to import it, like, I'll go over this too, just in case you don't know. Open up your menu, go to edit mode, go to import, and then you're gonna paste that, not the link to the Google document. You're gonna paste the code from the document into your import text, which I guess I can do that as well. I see a couple people are looking. We got a squirrel and a goose in there. Much appreciated. Okay, I'm gonna call this one import test. And it looks the exact same as the one that I made. If I go to modern, it changes, classic, it changes, import test, default. Looks good to me. What are you guys getting? I'm going to play around with this once I get home after work. That way I can play around. Okay. And for those of you that are watching this as a VOD, I'll post the link to the Google Doc in the description and probably in the pinned comment as well. That way you can access it. Server's down. I don't know why. I'll have to try it later. None given says looking good. Okay, awesome. Sweet. So what I want to do is I want to update my abilities here. Actually, I don't really need to. I can use OPI. No, it's going to give me errors. We're going to disable OPI until I update it. And we're going to update these keybinds. And I want to try out the soft targeting, and some of the other accessibility features that were added in with the pre-patch. All right, so let me update my abilities real quick and get everything on my spell bar. So I'm just going to drop this stuff on here for right now, and then I will sort out the order of it when I'm done. Okay. Hamstring. Heroic leap. Heroic throw. Pending victory pummel. Shield block. I don't know if I need. I got shield slam. Slam I don't use. Storm bolt goes here. Oh, actually, you know, I messed this up. I messed this up, actually. The CC goes in the middle. That's my bad. That's not too big of a change. The cool thing about this is I can go into edit mode. I can click that. I can go to quick keybind mode. And we can do our Shift S, our F. There we go. And just hit OK. So that was my bad. I was like, is that off? I think it's off. So it's off. Don't use Slam. Don't use Whirlwind. Thunderous Roar. We do use. And then in protection, we got Challenging Shout. That's basically a utility. We got Demo Shout. We've got Ignore Pain. Last Stand. Ravager. Rend. Which we don't actually need Rend, because we apply it with Thunderclap. We got Shield Wall. And that's it. What? What? Is that really it? That's really all we got? That's not a lot of abilities. Okay. Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay. I guess. Really? Condemn, Thunderclap, ending victory. That's really all. Yeah, I mean, that's all we got. We don't got a lot. We don't have a lot. Okay. So let me make some adjustments here. So impending victory, the next thing we want to use all the time is demoralizing shout. And then after that, it is going to be last stand, or actually we use Berserker's Rage. Last stand, shield wall, ignore pain, shield block. Now this is not how I would set this up for tanking dungeons, just to be clear. This is for open world content. Okay, then we have charge. Our secondary is going to be heroic leap. Then we'll use our throw. Then we'll use Door of Shadows. We've got pummel. Our secondary is going to be our Stormbolt. And then hamstring is next. For this one, the only thing we need is challenging shouts. So we don't need these. Over here, I guess all we really need for warrior is battle shout. Unless we want to pull stuff out. Oh, you know, I didn't get my racial passives. So we have Cannibalize, which I never use, but I can put over here if I want to. And we do have Will of the Forsaken, which we'll put down here as another alternate we can use. And then up here, we've got our Execute. We got Thunderclap, Revenge, Shield Slam. Like I said, we don't need Rend. I'll keep it there. Like, we actually have Blood and Thunder. So Blood and Thunder, Thunderclap is going to spread Rend if we have Rend as a talent we've learned. And then we have all these extra Thunderclaps. So what I'm actually going to do, since we have all the extra space, is I'm going to pull over a couple of things here we want to use. So we'll do Thunderous Roar. We'll pull our Taunt up. And that's really all I want to do, I think. Let me just double check. Battle Shout, Battle Stance, Berserkers, Charge, Condemn, Defensive, Door Shadows, Hamstring, Heroic Leap, Heroic Throw, Pending Victory, Pummel, Shield Block, Shield Slam. We don't want to use Slam. Like, we don't. I'm going to put it on here, but we don't want to use it. So, same thing with Whirlwind. We don't. So, instead of Slam, we want to hit, like, Shield Slam, or we want to hit Condemn, or Thunderclap, or anything that's going to have a chance to reset the cooldown of Shield Slam. Devastate, Thunderclap, Revenge, Execute, right? And instead of Whirlwind, we just want to hit Revenge. That's why we're not putting them on here. Challenging Shout, Demo, Ignore Pain. Oh, you know what? We could pull up Shield Block, actually. In case we do want to have some, like, defensive against, you know, stuff that's smacking us. We could put that up there. And then we'll throw Dragon Roar over here. It's a minute cooldown. Actually, we have a shorter cooldown on Ravager than we do Dragon's Roar. We'll swap those. Then we have Rend, Revenge, Shield Wall, all of our passives. Messing around with UI also, actually deleted some add-ons. Yeah, I think there's a lot of useful stuff here. Doesn't get rid of the need for add-ons, but I think like the UI can look a lot cooler. Yeah, this is Warrior, and Team and Hunter is going to be even less buttons, I believe. Yeah. But I can see Shaman. Yeah, Shaman has a lot of stuff. There are a few classes that just have a lot of stuff. So what I want to show you guys real quick is if you go back into edit mode and you come into like this bar, if you hit always show buttons, like you can get rid of the blank ones that you don't need, right? I would recommend like just leaving it on from the main bar because it'll look a little bit weird. But for the other ones, you know, like that kind of cleans it up a little bit, gets rid of a bunch of those empty buttons. We can do the same thing for the one behind my camera here. And then when you open your spellbook, it's going to pop those back up so you can fill them if you want to. But I like having those off. The other thing that you can do potentially, like this stuff, I'm not opening combat with most of this stuff. So if you go into edit mode and you click a bar like this one and change this to show in combat, right? And we can change this one to show in combat and save. And we'll change the one behind me to show out of combat. Right, so now we've only got the one bar there. We've got less stuff on the screen. Stance bar is up to you. I don't normally change stances on a warrior, so maybe I would hide it. But, you know, for like a druid or something like that, you might want to leave it there. Now, when we go get into combat, let's see. Yeah, like if we go down here. I forgot I have flying. I'm not used to having flying. I just got it recently, so. So now when we're in combat, these will show up, and the one behind me is actually gone. We move here. We're going to hold on this. I want to set that soft targeting before we pull a bunch of stuff. All right, so let's go into options. And where was this stuff at? Okay. It's probably under combat. So personal resource display, if this is checked for you, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to see something behind the nameplates here. Let me go ahead and... Okay, see this underneath the character? If you're seeing this, that is the personal resource display. Okay, so if you see that and you want to get rid of it, right? Go into options, combat, and turn that off. Okay. So what I want to see is... All right, let's try press and hold casting. We're going to look at this one first. So if I press and hold on Shield Slam, can I cast other things? Okay, so you can cast other things while holding down the button. Okay. So I can see a little bit like how that might be useful, potentially. I'm going to have to try this on like a caster, because everything I have is instant cast, right? But if I hold down W, and you'll see if I get a... Oh, it didn't do it that time. Interesting. Huh. That time it didn't really work. All right, so let's see. W. Okay, it just did it. So I could see that. Like, you could just hold down that spam button, right? Okay, yeah, I can see it. I can see it. God, this oh my goodness. Like, the difference in damage between before this talent tree and after this talent tree with this build is stupid. It's stupid. Oh man. Like, I'm telling you, if I could have used this talent build when I was leveling this freaking thing, it would have been so much better. Oh, it's so much better. So much better. Frost Mage is gonna love it. Yeah, just spamming those frost bolts over and over and over again. Okay, so I don't mind that. I don't really see a reason not to have that turned on. And then action, I'm gonna turn it off, okay? And we're gonna enable action targeting. So action targeting is what I wanted to check out. So this should allow me to target things. See that? See how it's kind of auto-targeting that? I didn't click on it. I didn't hit tab. If I come over here, I think, let's see, if I get close to the bird, see that? It snapped in. If I turn this way, it snapped in, snapped in. If I come back over here and I look at, you know, this bird, okay, we got the moth, we got the panther. It's based on kind of what I'm looking at, right? So I think this is going to be really nice for melee. So what I want to see is, what if we go up here and we smack this guy, but then we turn this way. Condemn. You're going to have to get used to this, I think, to make sure you hit the target you want to hit. But oh my gosh. Can you imagine? I need to pull a bunch of stuff. I need to pull a bunch of stuff somewhere. 2's not enough. I need like 8. I need to find a good spot where we can pull like a ton of stuff. Okay, this will work. This will work. We can pull like a couple groups here. All right, so let's say, like, you know, we're pulling these guys and we're pulling this guy and we're pulling these guys, and we're gonna thunderclap. Feared. All right, so we're gonna thunderclap these guys, and then we're targeting this guy over here, right? All you got to do is click off that guy, and now all of a sudden, we're just shifting our focus, right? Oh, I want to hit this guy. Okay, cool. Now we're going to hit this dude over here. We're going to finish him off. Oh, he's here, but I want to hit that guy with a charge. I just shift my camera. This is going to take some getting used to, I think, to be really good with it, but oh my goodness. Such a huge quality of life upgrade, in my opinion. Also, can you guys tell that the build works? The build works. I didn't even like impending victory at all. So now I don't have to target. I can just see, this time it didn't soft target that guy. Oh, I wonder, did I have something else? This is gonna take some getting used to for sure. It didn't target the little guy. See what I'm saying? It didn't target them. I wonder though, is it gonna target like a big one? Yeah, see, it targeted them, but it didn't target them. Maybe, I don't know. It's targeting them now. Well, I think it's just targeting the one that hit me. It's kind of what's going on there. Still, I mean, I think having that on is... Oh, it's going to be so nice for melee. At least for melee, it's going to be super nice. Where did I find the option to hide action bars I'm not using? So yeah, so that... I know you found it, but I'll cover it just in case anyone's watching. Just go into options. Oops. Options. Action bars. And then they actually added a bunch more. They added a 5, 6, 7, 8. I think they added 2 extra ones. So you can find those in there if you need them. Overwhelmed. What's I figured it was going to be overwhelming for a lot of people. What's overwhelming for you? Maybe I can help you out a little bit. Is it just the amount of stuff? Do you need a talent build for a specialization? You need help with UI? I'm doing this stream and I'm going to do future streams to try to be like, if people are stressing out, like come talk to Set. WeakAuras? You're overwhelmed with WeakAuras. Oh, well, I mean, that's a personal problem. You're doing that to yourself. Blizzard's not forcing that on you. For sure. Yeah, I need to update my WeakAuras and start working on that. I kind of want to... here's what we're going to do. We got a good number of viewers here. You guys keep working on your UI. You know, if you have a UI question, if you want help with a talent build, I'm telling you, I have talent builds for basically every specialization that are going to be good for you to go out and solo and test stuff. So if you really want one, let me know. I need to take a very quick run to the restroom break. So I'm going to AFK for 2-3 minutes. When I come back, I'm going to update WeakAuras and I'm going to look at getting the rotation helper started for Warrior, because I want to give you guys an idea of the complete package of what I'm intending to do for you guys for Dragonflight. Okay. And I can use this as a reference video as well. So hang around. I will be right back. It's going to say AFK, but I'll be right back. And think of any questions you have. And when we come back, anything you guys want to see, UI, you know, talent tree, whatever, we'll do that. If there aren't any questions, then like I said, I'm going to update, make sure my WeakAuras are good to go. And then kind of work on that rotation helper so you guys can see at least the start of that. All right, so I will be back momentarily. All right, you guys rock. We didn't see too big of a drop there. Usually it's like, oh, he's AFK, and then, you know, 10 people leave. And that was all the viewers I had, was 10. So thanks for hanging around. I'm going to go ahead real quick, and we're going to pop out of here. We're going to come right back in after we update WeakAuras. So I have still been using a WoW up to update my add-ons. I'm looking into whether I want to keep using WoW up, or, you know, what I want to use here. But we're just gonna update. Oh, WoW starting. Oh, what if I get locked out? Oh, what if I left and now I'm just done? Why is there a warning on WeakAuras? Okay, cool. We're just gonna manually update WeakAuras then. Yes, I know. I was looking for triggers, conditions, because I couldn't remember the syntax for it. Okay. Actually, I'll just grab it from CurseForge. All right, so WeakAuras was updated 3 hours ago. Let's go ahead and download it. 5.0. Yeah, this is definitely an upgrade over what I have. Okay, so let's close that. I'm gonna pull this up just to make sure I don't show anything I shouldn't show. I don't really have anything to like hide, but you never know. All right, so we're gonna grab WeakAuras 5.0. We're gonna extract the folder. We're gonna open the folder, then we're gonna take everything in there and we're gonna drop it into our interface folder for World of Warcraft, retail, add-ons. We are going to move that over. Quite a big 706 items. That's a lot. We are copying over. Replace the files. The new loot window is slick. Yeah, I like a lot of the just the overall updates that they made. Okay, so WeakAuras is good. Let me see. My WoW says it's initializing, so we'll give it a minute here. And then hopefully we'll get back in. Hopefully. While we're waiting for that, I'll pop over here. Nobody had any questions, huh? No questions about anything so far. Best talent builds for all classes. Easy import and updated for Dragonflight. You know what? I mean, you gotta do it. You gotta do it. I don't agree. They're the best talent. I'm sure they're good talent builds for raiding, primarily. All right, what are you doing, World of Warcraft? Are you initializing? All right, why don't we just waiting on another? What is updated? What else is updating? Hopefully I didn't get stuck in like a weird updating hell. Let me close out of BattleNet and get back in here. Did you guys, any of you, have a random update or anything like that that popped up for you? Carlbot. All right, so we're updating here. I know this is thrilling. What a stream! He says we're updating, we're initializing. Okay, it's actually making some progress. We're doing all right now. Okay. Anybody have a talent build they want some help with or anything like that? What's everybody doing? I mean, you're all here. What are you doing? Are you all fiddling around with the UI right now? Is that mainly what you're doing, or are you reading through your talents? Like, what's occupying your time here in the pre-patch? Are you sitting there not able to get in? Not able to get in and play? Oh, yeah, man, hopefully I'm not like key bindings. Key bindings are definitely a thing. Definitely. MB. Happy face. Yeah, I'm stuck initializing. Great. Okay. UI. Gotcha. Just trying to figure out how to make it look pleasing. Yeah, everybody's got their different opinions and ideas. Okay, we are downloading. We're getting an update here for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's cranking through. So you guys can see where. Go. My tune is stuck in a portal between Dalaran and Stormwind. I logged out, gave up for the night. Almost done though. It's the first day, that's worse. Just messing around with talent trees and bars. Midnight here, so time I was getting some sleep before work tomorrow. Alright, MB. No problem. Set up my UI, took some cues from how I had my FF14 set up. Now I'm out in the world enjoying the active targeting. Yeah, the active targeting definitely seems, it seems cool. Okay. I wonder if my webcam needs to move now with this new UI setup. Let's see. Man, when you have to use a specific item of a quest now, it's so much easier. You don't have to click on the quest log or open your bag. You just right click on the target. Oh, sweet. Why do I have it? Why? Okay, I'm pretty sure this stuff is going to continue to happen for a while, okay? What is going on? Why? Okay, action bar 7 got re-enabled for some reason. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right, so let's go into add-ons, and we're gonna do WeakAuras. Ooh, did I overwrite my WeakAuras? Are they still in there? Let's find out. Oh, you guys, if you're interested, if you want to play with me on the channel and the people here, Proudmoore server, there is a Horde side guild. It's just called Tsetzuko Horde, and there's an Alliance side guild called Tsetsuko Alliance. We have been participating. It looks like I have some applicants. Oh, that's my character. Wow, I just got excited about myself. Also, yeah, see, there's gonna be bugs like this. Like, look at this right here, the stance bar. I don't know why it did that. Okay, but we're gonna save and. You know, this was happening in the beta too. Like, if something gets messed up with the UI, just go try to fix it. It's gonna happen. Hey, Tenderbot. Welcome back. Oh, okay, go away. Am I the only one that's key bindings aren't working? So something that has happened to me as well is when I set up my key bindings, they would go away sometimes, especially on the extra bars. So there's going to be bugs, unfortunately. So if your key binds aren't working, there's a good chance that it's a Blizzard problem and not necessarily a you problem. All right, let's see. Okay, so I actually already had my rotation helper kind of going. This was, let's see, can I go into edit mode and still open WeakAuras? I can, okay. Okay, this rotation helper does not have anything fancy in it, just to be clear. Okay. Nothing fancy. But if I get rid of Battle Shout, it'll tell me, hey, you need Battle Shout. So this is very much like the very beginnings work in progress. I actually did this for my warrior before, but I I intentionally deleted all my UI files, and so I'm having to remake it, but I just kind of started in. So shield slam, revenge, cast thunderclap, shield slam, revenge. For some reason, condemn doesn't show up in there. It's like a issue with WeakAuras, but cast shield slam, cast revenge, cast shield slam, cast revenge, cast. Let's grab all this stuff. Now, this also doesn't have the logic from the new talent trees. This is based on the build I was using previously, so shield slam, revenge, pending victory, revenge, thunderclap, revenge, shield slam, So basically you just left to right. Just do what the rotation helper is telling you to do, and you just murder things. It's pretty nice. So what I actually do is, like, right now what you're seeing is just every ability you might want to cast with no real conditions added onto them. So, for example, like Demo Shout won't be here all the time, right? Eventually I'll add in the logic so that it'll say like, oh, if this is the scenario, then you use Demo Shout. W key isn't even working. That's insane. What keys do you use for movement? Notice your W is an ability. So yeah, I've mentioned this a couple times, but I'm guessing you're just now coming into the stream. So I use S as my move forward. I'll show you in a second. I explain in pretty good detail in the VOD, like earlier on in the stream, but I'll show you my keybinds real quick. So options, keybinds, movement keys. I have S for move forward, Shift S for backwards, and then I have A and D as strafe. So I use ASD. And basically, if I want to move backwards, I just turn my camera and strafe that direction. Might try it actually. I'll go back and watch for reference as well. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's super annoying that Condemn and WeakAuras has a issue. But yeah, I want to get these, I'm really excited about these WeakAuras rotation helpers. I'm going to be building these. Later this week, I should have a video kind of talking about what guides are going to be prioritized based on people who contributed to the campaign for Season 1. Poison bomb. Poison bomb. Alright, this is fine. Just follow the rotation. Yeah, so again, this is like the very... I haven't done anything for the logic. I was just kind of putting in all the different abilities I might want to use. Like I have Avatar and Shockwave in here when, you know, it's obviously not updated for the new talent builds because I don't have Avatar or Shockwave anymore in this build. So, yeah, but I'm really excited. I'm really excited about this. This is super cool. I'm pretty thrilled. Again, if you guys are watching this as a VOD later on, or if you've been watching the stream and you come back and you're like, man, I have a question, again, post it in the comment section or hop on the channel Discord and you can ask questions there. If you're interested in playing with me on my server in my guild, again, for Dragonflight, we're mainly going to be operating on the Horde guild as the primary guild, but we still have, I'm going to have 6 characters Horde, 6 characters Alliance. Actually, I forget. One of them is going to have 7 because my Evoker is going to go on one of those factions. But we'll be active across both. Between now and then, like during the pre-patch, we're doing leveling sessions basically every Sunday morning. We've been doing group leveling sessions. So if you want to play with someone and get quests done faster, bonus objectives, all that kind of stuff, join us. Join the Discord. That's where you're going to find current info. Those guilds, by the way, Tsetzuko Horde, Tsetsuko Alliance, you could just go in the guild finder and look for them and request to join. No big deal. You'll get an invite. There's no application. There's no craziness. What was that? A trinket. 207 trinket. Yeah, why not? Let's go do it. Give it a shot. Also, Khaled, if you're interested, the Black Mist, both of you, thanks for popping in the stream. I appreciate it. I'm gonna repost this just in case, since it's a little bit later on. If anybody wants to use it, here's the import code for my UI. Just copy the code out of that document. All right, take the seed. Oh, this is going to be one of those ones where... Oh, okay, it's not going to make me do anything. Gorm Daughters. Time to test. I took Abomination Limb as a talent and have it as a Necrolord skill. Yeah, that one, there's no need for you to do that right now. My understanding from what I've heard is that you don't need to take both of them. But once you're out of Shadowlands, you'll want to have the talent so that you can continue to use the skill. What is... Okay, so that's a herb. Oh, we got new icons for herbs on the map. I noticed that, and the mining icon is different too. Okay, interesting. Oh, here we go. I was wondering, I was like, where are they? I haven't done this world quest before. Give me all of the guys. I don't care. Are they dropping off? Can I only take like 2 at a time or something? If I pick up another one, will they disappear? Yeah, I thought that Ravager talent was going to be good, and I like it. People will tell you it's not good, but I think for open world, it's good. 2 charges of Ravager. I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped, you guys, to play these talent builds on live now. I'm looking forward to this. We're going to have some live streams where we do this, but I'm definitely wanting to hear from you guys what you want to see. One puts the other one on cooldown, can't double dip. Yeah, so... You don't need it in Shadowlands, but once you go to Dragonflight, you'll want it. Okay, it says I have 4 of them. Okay, cool. Oh, you know what? I have done this world quest like once, maybe. Oh no, give me my buff back. Ugh, I gotta get it again. Okay, can't fly apparently. Didn't want to have it, wanted to try and double up. Yeah, I honestly, I don't blame you. Like, it'd be cool to have double Abomination Limb, right? That'd be pretty dope. All right, so I can't fly. Unfortunately. I am really surprised that worked. Oh, cool. We can just get these ones again. 2. Oh, they took the speed buff. Oh no, okay, it's still on there. Okay, cool. That's 3. We need 1 more. We'll go up here and get it. All right. Okay, this song sounds a little too like high school pep rally for me. What? Oh my gosh. Really? Really? That ain't right. That's not right. Oh, this quest is finicky. I don't like it. Can't believe I have to do that again. Okay, this one's a little too energetic as well. All right, let's try it again. Ugh. I just wanted that trinket, man. It's 200 something item level. My gearing is way behind, you guys. Way behind. Spin. Wow, that was a nice aim shot. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Like half their health. Not bad, not bad. Okay, cool. So we did a world. Wow, look at my bags. Oh my goodness, my bags. Let's get rid of. Let's get rid of the 146. Oh, never mind. Oh, okay. It's a purple version of the one I already have. Gotcha. Wasn't paying attention to that. Okay, you guys, so this has been quite the stream. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Super huge crowd today compared to usual. I hope this is going to continue going forward with Dragonflight. I hope that between this video, you know, everything we talked about in the beginning, the showcase, just talking to you about what my plans are for Dragonflight. I hope you're excited for the content here on the channel. Again, my big deal is just building community over the course of the Dragonflight expansion. If you are into questing, leveling, world quests, transmog farms, crafting and professions, and farming, if you really want to focus on the major factions for in-game, for Dragonflight, if you want to focus on community events, basically if you want to focus on all the stuff in World of Warcraft that involves being out in the world and not just in a dungeon, in a raid, or in PvP, then this channel and this community that I'm trying to build is hopefully going to be the place for you to do that, while still getting a bunch of nerdery about talent builds and min-maxing your character for the open world content, add-ons, all that kind of stuff. That is my goal. That's what I'm shooting for. So if you tuned in to this stream or this VOD and that sounds cool to you, keep hanging out here. Definitely appreciate it. Thanks for everyone who had all the conversation today. You guys were awesome. I appreciate it. Marlon X, I see you with the peace sign. First thing you said, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for the peace there. If you can't tell, you guys, I am winding down. This is going to be the end of the stream. I want to cut it off here and not go too far because I still want this to serve as like a UI sort of video here for the most part. Look forward in the next couple of days for some videos from me talking more about Season 1 and what's coming in Season 1 and what a season is. There's a lot of new people here, so I'll re-explain the concept of seasons here on the channel and what's coming with that. So yeah, it's exciting stuff. It's good stuff. And hopefully the taste of what you got here has got you excited. I'm excited. I'm pumped. This is exactly the kind of nerdery, you know, UI, WeakAuras, talent builds, rotations. This is my kind of stuff. And I'm super, super excited for it. And I'm really excited to have already started playing with some of you guys and to play with more of you in the future. I'm really excited. So hopefully you are as well. Don't forget to hit up the channel Discord if you want. I will keep an eye on the community tab for YouTube. I'll be putting some announcements there about our next group leveling thing here with the pre-patch. And as always, you can hit me up on Discord, or you can leave a comment on the video if you have a question about something, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right. If you tweeted me your UI, I don't use Twitter. I have the Twitter. I don't use it. So if you want, if you can hop on the Discord and send me a screenshot, you can. I'll check my Twitter one way or the other if I can remember the login stuff. I bailed out of a lot of social media. I basically just only operate on YouTube and Discord right now. But I will try to find it. I'll try to find it. I'll try to take a look. And yeah, if you guys want to send me your UIs, go ahead. I'll take a look at them. I'm always open for ideas. So, so exciting. So exciting. Okay, everybody. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I'm going to hop off here so I can get to bed. I got work still the rest of the week. I will be back, not on stream, but I'll be on WoW tomorrow. So tomorrow evening. So if you want to hang out in the Discord chat, join the Discord. And we've got let me show you real quick. And I'll make sure that a Discord link, it's usually in the description of my channel or my streams. I think it's on this one. Let me double check. I want to tell you it's there and then it's not there. Sorry, it's taking a second to load here. Yeah, if you look in the description of the stream here, look down below. There's a link to join the Discord. And if you are joining the Discord, right here, we have this pre-Dragonflight leveling group 1. And then we've got a group chat for it. It's super simple. I haven't gotten into expanding the Discord back out or anything like that. But if you see anybody in here, it's usually going to be me. A lot of times it's going to be Dirty Wolf. We'll be in there leveling. So if you join the Discord and you want to participate, you can hop in, find out what faction we're on at that time, and you can join us and play and hang out. And even if you don't want to level and you just want to come hang out and chat, that's where we'll be most evenings this week and definitely this weekend. All right. Yeah, I don't have any bots running. Sorry. I'll work on them. I'll work on them. I used to have them. I used to do Twitch. I used to have bots set up and donations and subscriptions and Patreon and all this stuff. And I just kind of like shut it all down. I was like, you know what? I just want to, let's keep it simple, right? Let's keep it simple. Let's make the content I want to make for the people I want to make it for and not try to nickel and dime out of their money. So, but you know, as the channel picks up here with Dragonflight, I think it'll be a good idea to get some more bots and convenience features back. So we'll do that. All right, you guys, I'm rambling because I'm just having fun hanging out with you, and I don't want to let you go, but I gotta. So keep an eye on the community tab. I'll let you know when the next stream is and when the next leveling session is. All right, everyone, I'm really gonna go this time. Peace. Thanks for the subscription, Khalid. Dreadnought, glad you had an enjoyable time. All right, I'm out. Before we get another Twitter bot. Oh, God. I'm going to leave that in. All right, y'all. Peace.